Hello everyone and welcome to a tutorial guide, or at least a kind of taster if you will, for people interested in remotely trying to learn a little bit of Final Fantasy VII. Now this isn't your typical any percent no slots or any percent slots guide, but this will give you a taste for speedrunning. Now for those who are interested in this game, whether it's learning how to do like just Final Fantasy VII fast at first, right, to see if that is for you or not. There's a lot of people who just want to see, oh, I wonder how I can do, or I wonder if I can just do Midgar, how fast I can do Midgar in. Now different things come into play when it comes to what category you want to run and how serious you want to take speedrunning, but in this tutorial here, this will get you through Midgar. Now I don't have any splits, but I would say my best bet or my best advice is for you to download LiveSplit. LiveSplit is the platform or the system you'll need, or the extension I guess, or download you need to basically set up some splits. Splits are only kind of used in a speedrun just so that you can monitor where you're losing time, so you can monitor where you need to improve your run. Now for me, you know, you can kind of see all my splits on, you know, my streams or on speedrun.com. You know, there's a few places it's nice to monitor where your pace is being and stuff, but really what you really want to do is you're just aiming to just get a timer on the screen and you're just trying to leave Midgar as fast as you can, and we will split at if I load up here, I'll show you where we're going to end the run today. So here right now, the minute we leave, that's where we put the final split, and that is where today's run will end. So when we get to this screen, the run is done. This isn't a category, this is not anything, this is just a pure baby way beginner percent. So you may be wondering, are we going to be learning step count? Well, we are not going to be learning step count, because step count is slightly more advanced. This is pure baby. There will be safety saves, there will be pickups, extra pickups, there'll be backup menus, everything will be baby. But I can promise you this, I will get you through Midgar. Okay? There are a couple of bosses that can be a little bit sketchy, because things can happen, you know, game is game, right? But that's why we make safety saves. Now, I don't know what a good time would be on PAL. I'm tempted to do a run on PAL just to see how we actually do. But for now, I'm doing this on emulator. You can follow along on emulator if you like, and you can pause and stop the video whenever you want. Or again, you can do this on PAL and, you know, pause and do the safety saves with me. I'm only doing the emulator just because I don't have PS2 PAL loaded up. I could do it on NTSC, but if I want to go back and show something, I can show something. Most of the fights in Midgar are quite easy. We'll be throwing grenades. Grenades is our easiest amount of damage for damage output. You know, doing roughly 135 to 150-ish damage. And that's pretty much what we'll be doing throughout most of Midgar. In fact, yeah, there's only one boss where it might slightly change. But other than that, that's literally it. Now, because we're not doing a full run, bravers, we don't need to worry too many about bravers. Each braver that we'll do though, after, well, basically from apps onwards, will just save you a grenade basically. But I will try my best to explain the run. I'll explain, you know, I'll try and explain the best I can with how things work, why we're picking up this item, why we're not picking up this item, why we're not going to use it, why we're doing that menu, all that good stuff. As I'm recording this, please forgive me, I'm running on about 3 hours sleep, so I may trip over my words or say something I don't mean. Just as an FYI, I want to be just completely transparent with people here. But I want to encourage people to play Final Fantasy VII. Now, if you're a father of 2, if you're a mother of 3, or whatever you are, if you can fit in a couple of hours in a day, whether it's on stream or not, or you're a streamer and you want to do this, or even if you're not a streamer and you want to do this offline, you can still speedrun offline. and submit your run as long as you record. Whoever you are, I want to encourage you to play Final Fantasy VII. Now, specifically for me, this is based on the any percent no slots route. Now, you can still use my route for slots, but again, none of these are routes I've routed up to finish the game yet, so it's just to give you a taste of getting through Midgar as fast as you can. Maybe you just want to learn to show off to some friends. Maybe you want to learn because you want to become a future speedrunner. Maybe you want to learn to see if you'll even enjoy it. Whatever your reason, whatever your purpose behind wanting to learn this is, whatever your story is behind wanting to learn this game, let me be the one to help you, okay? Now, I am not some mega top runner. I'm not top 5. I'm none of that. I do like to think I know quite a lot of my stuff, but I'm sure there's other runners who know a lot more than me. But what I can guarantee is I will get you through Midgar. So, with the long intro out of the way, and possibly some editing that I might need to do there because that intro, let's start the run and we'll explain what's what and why we're doing it. So, as I said, when we start this game, there'll be no step count and there will be safety extra items. Now, as for a gill route, I kind of got a rough gill route that I want us to take. So, yeah. And if I say in a run, do not kill this, please do not kill anything unless I state so. So anything I do and everything I do, you follow exactly what we're going to do. I will not be running this on step count, and my encounters might appear in different areas than yours because my movement might be better than the average person because I'm a runner to Final Fantasy VII. But this will give you an idea. Now, when your movement starts to improve, like when you start to move Cloud better and you realize the controls on the screen, and again, you can see my inputs on the screen, so if you want to follow along with them, you can do to learn a little bit, you can do. And you will see that if you get similar encounters to where I get my encounters, then that means your movement is improving. But don't worry about movement, just run and just go. Don't worry about walking steps, there's none of that. It's just, we're just going in and we're gonna just gonna go with it. I've got no splits on my screen. I'm gonna talk through slowly. I don't know how long this video will be, but let's do it. I'm super excited actually. So first off, we close this text box and you can actually just hold triangle and it will take you into the menu rather than like closing and tapping triangle. So close this text box, hold triangle, menu. I work from bottom to up. I typically do this in a lot of menus actually, but yeah, so we go up to config, we do cursor to memory. If you accidentally click this, it's fine, it doesn't do anything, don't worry. Just don't click and change your controls. If you want to change your controls, you can do, like so, but yeah, you don't need to. I mean, if you want to, you can do. I would really advise not changing X and circle. I know that people are like, oh, I can't do X cancel and circle confirm. I can't do it. I totally understand, but you'll have a harder time with minigames because minigames will say, oh, press X, and that X will be circled for you. So it can get a little bit confusing. So again, going back a minute, I recommend you keep your controls the same. So again, we do menu, cursor to memory, A to B to active, and all these up to full. If you want to do an even babier run, you can leave the battle speed at midway or do it 3/4 if you want to. Now obviously this will slower your time of the run, but if you're just trying to set some splits so that you have some to run against, go for it. But we're going full ham. Battle speed again, battle message. Again, I can't see any reason why I wouldn't want this fast, but everything fast. Optional camera, so you can choose to have your camera swinging when magic is being casted, or you can just leave it so it's fixed so that you don't have the swinging of the camera. I personally prefer camera to be on fixed. I find it easier to select party characters and things, so personally that's what I go with, but it doesn't affect speed in any way. So, but my preference, I'd go with fixed. From here, we're going to run up, we're going to grab these 2 potions. Now all I did is run up. I didn't move to the right or anything, I just moved up. I picked up the potions After that, you run straight forward. You can also put the finger cursor on, or the finger won't be on the screen, but you can press select here and put this on the screen. I'd recommend this just so it's easier navigation, and I recommend putting this on as early as you can, really. I know some people put it on in train graveyard. I think Caleb does it on the ladder before the train graveyard. I think Zeal does it at a different area as well. I do it here. Everyone does it in different areas, but I do it here so it's on and we won't forget. So if you want it on, have it on. I'd recommend it, but pop it on and then just run forward. Now for this starting encounter, you can just literally hold circle. That's all you can do. You don't need to worry about any of that. But I want to just talk you through something real quick. So I want you to start looking at Final Fantasy VII just a little bit different, okay? So how we have this ATB meter here with Cloud. I want you to start pretending that these guys have our ATB meters above their head, right? So for example, if this guy goes first, he's obviously got a full ATB, right? And then let's say he attacks me, right? Now this ATB bar on this guy is empty. And then this guy will go because he's probably got a full ATB. So when ATB is on active, this is constantly filling and so is theirs. So these will constantly get turned no matter what's going on. So I want you to start thinking that, and this go for bosses as well. And this, just even understanding that, will change the way you look at Final Fantasy VII already. Some people may not think that, but it's true. Enemies and bosses have their own ATBs, but we just don't see them. And this will help you with later bosses if you decide to take this run a bit further. But for now, as I say, we press circle. That's all we do. And we'll hardly be healing in this entire run. But again, I'll be doing some safety saves and I'll be telling you where you can heal if need be and stuff. So there's a chance that this guy can drop a potion. If it drops a potion, great. If it doesn't, it's not a big deal at all. From here, you want to run up left onto the next screen. And again, you can refer to my movement if you want. You want to run around, basically just run up to Biggs, Wedge and Jesse. I'm going to move badly on purpose here. And again, mashing technique, just go easy. Just slowly on a nice circle pace. Press the circle button. Don't have to hurt yourself. And then delete all the letters of Cloud's name to the letter C. And we're going to name Barrett after this next text box. And the same deal. Name him B. We name our characters one letters because each text box loads up every single letter. So each letter of Cloud's name and Barrett's name and Tifa's name and Red 13's name and Kit Citrus' name, you can imagine it does take a good chunk of time over the course of a speedrun for every single of those letters to load up. So it saves what we call in the terms in Final Fantasy VII as frames. So best way to describe it is that we save frames and it does save you a bit of time. So again, I don't see why you can't do this, but yeah, just delete the letters, get to B and C. An advanced tip, you can hold X to delete, but just don't delete everything. You can name him A if you want to, but I'd recommend having people B, C, and just easy to remember who to heal, rather than having someone called A and someone else called A. But yeah, one letter. And then from here, the movement's a bit funny, so please refer to my controls if you're unsure what to press. But because I know where the step count will be and stuff, I know where we'll get an encounter, roughly, and it'll be 2 soldiers coming up around this corner, around here. Now these 2 soldiers, again, you run away, so you can pull R1 and L1 to run away. I'm holding circle and left to do a change. So you'll see me doing that throughout the run, and that change, if it happens, because what that will do is that will change Cloud from the front row to back row in a fight. It'll only last for that fight though, so it wears off. So Cloud's always on the front row unless I've stated, right, like I have now. But in a fight, he'll go from front to back in this case, and him just jumping back, what that does is it allows again, the imaginary ATB bar, if you like, of the enemy, for that to buffers that escape ATB bar even more, allowing you to have extra time to try and run away. So that's why a lot of speedrunners will do change. There's no reason to do defend, because defend doesn't do any animation. So again, do change, and from time to time in fights. Again, this screen looks weird. You know, you'd think you'd have to run up because Cloud's facing like Barrett to run up to Barrett, but you have to press upright. It's a bit of a weird screen. And again, nice and easy mashing. You know, you can start like counting text boxes so you know when you're in control, but your visual cue will be the finger on the head on Cloud sometimes. Look here, see? So when you've got the finger on the head, you know you're in control. Because that finger disappears when you're in a cutscene, basically, or talking. As you can see there, look. And again, this movement is upright again. If you bonk here, it's fine. Talk to Jesse. So of course we talk to Bigster first, then Jesse. Press the switch. Now, if you can mash quick enough, I'm not even sure I'm going to be able to on emulator, you can get what you call fast elevator. This saves 3 seconds. I'm not really like going full ham to try here. You know, if we get it, we get it. I don't think we're going to get it anyway, so again, I'm going slow here, but if you're able to mash really fast here, just those text boxes, the way it's going up and down, you see how it's gone up now and then down? On that last bit there, that's slow elevator. It's not a big deal though, it's 3 seconds. Make your way around, be nice and easy with your movement. Again, you can see the buttons I'm pressing to refer to. A battle will take place here. This will be 2 sentry guns. Again, my ATBs are nearly full, so I'm going to hold circle left and R1 and L1, and as you can see, an instant runaway. And on that fight, those sentry guns are programmed to attack the person with the highest HP, which in this case will always be Barrett. So in that case, the instant runaway was good because the laser animation that they do takes like a few seconds, like 5-6 seconds. So just getting that instant runaway is really fast. So here we can jump across. You don't even need to move, you can just mash here, look, talk to her. You got one text box. You can run close and then just simply grab the ladder. And when you come down here, ignore that potion for now. Take a right and grab the ladder. Don't worry about the potion, we'll pick it up, don't worry. And then run around here. Again, please refer to my controls if you're unsure of how to move in these screens. Again, I'm holding circle left and R1 and L1 here just to buffer a change animation, but no, look. If your ATBs are like nowhere near, like and they're at halfway, you probably just want to do the run away. You don't need to do change. But getting into that habit of doing change is quite nice because sometimes it can really help with good runaways. Normally we'd walk in a speedrun, we'd walk 8 to 9 steps here, but again we're doing beginner route, so we just run. And it's X and down right the screen. Now it's X and up, and you want to just mash to pick up the materia. And then we're going to do our first boss. So this first boss is Guard Scorpion. Guard Scorpion has 800 HP, and there's a bit of a strat. It seems scary on paper what you need to do here, but I'm going to talk through it just before we get into the fight. I'm going to ease your worry. Don't over worry and don't overthink this fight. It's not as hard as it seems. Let me see if I can talk you through it before we get in. So how this fight starts is the boss will start off with search scope. Whoever is search scoped, make that person in the turn order go first. So if Barrett's search scoped, Barrett goes first, then Cloud does bolt. And if it's Cloud, then vice versa. Cloud goes first with bolt, then Barrett. In the case that you've got nearly a full ATB, let's say Barrett's ATB is almost full right at the start of the fight, you can hold circle and try and get an attack in early. This will help get a faster Guard Scorpion kill. But again, don't worry if you can't get that in, so it's not a big deal. And the same kind of deal goes for Cloud. So if Cloud's ATB is almost full and you want to try and get an early bolt in, You can hold down and circle and it will cast Bolt on the boss. But again, don't overthink it. Don't worry. If you're not comfortable doing that, don't do it. So yeah, fight starts, search scope, let's see who it is. And it'll do search scope, attack, search scope, attack. Then it'll be tail laser phase, okay? That's what we're going to do. And in the tail laser phase, if anyone has 160 HP and less, I'd recommend not attacking in the tail laser phase. If Cloud and Barret are at about 250 to, you know, anything higher, you can attack during the tail laser phase. But we'll talk about that when we get to it. So if you want to maximize or at least have a good idea of Guard Scorpion, you can try to add damage in your head. So what I do is if Barret hits for 35 and Cloud hits for 86, I just say he roughly hits for about 120. That's what I say. And it's better to kind of have a low guess than a high guess. So that you have a buffer of damage. So, and what that does for me is it means if Barret and Cloud are doing about 120 per turn, you know, like say this is one turn, right? And every time that's roughly what they're hitting for, I can just go, okay, 120, next turn, 240, okay, next turn, 360, okay, next turn, 500. You know, so it's easy to add up that way, in my opinion. Even if it's rough, even if it's like 508 by the time you get to turn order, but you've counted 500, at least you've got an 8 damage buffer. Now, what we're going to do is if Barret is search scoped first, like he's going to go first, then Cloud is. Then on Guard Scorpion his next turn, he's going to attack Barret. And if Barret takes enough damage, he'll get a limit. So this is why I want him to go first. So then what will happen is, again, starting from the beginning, Barret will go, Cloud will go. Guard Scorpion will hit Barret, but while he's hitting Barret, Barret would have already put through another attack. So then he'll have a limit in the middle of his attack animation. Then then Cloud will go with Bolt, and then immediately Barret's ATB bar will ATB bar will fill, and then we're going to be able to do a limit break by holding circle. And this allows Barret to get another 100 something damage off before Guard Scorpion's next turn, which will be search scope again. So then again, we repeat, we look at the search scope. If it's on Barret or Cloud, we make sure we adjust. If it's on Barret, we can keep the turn order the same. If the search scope goes on Cloud, you just wait on Barret for his ATB, wait for Clouds to fill, switch over to Cloud, do Bolt, do attack with with Barret, and then rinse and repeat, and then it'll be tail laser phase. So we're going to talk through this slowly. I know I'm going into a lot of detail. I know it might seem really intimidating, but when you see it in motion and you understand it, you'll find out it's actually really easy. So don't worry, we will not die. We don't need to heal at all, so don't worry about healing ever. So let's do it. I'm going to hold circle here for Barret's turn, and I'm doing Bolt with Cloud. So Cloud is going to be search scope. So now we're having Barret go first and Cloud going second, but we need to swap over now and have Cloud going next, and then Barret. So I'm going to wait on Barret's turn here, look. And the rules are quite nice. So 92 Cloud, Bolt magic, nice. Now this, if Cloud has taken enough damage on the way down to the reactor, Cloud can get a limit here, and this is why we're having him go first. But he didn't get a limit, so that's fine. So I'm still going to do Bolt here with Cloud and then attack with Barret here. But we're looking at the search scope again, look. This is on Barret, so again, I need to swap the turn order. Barret more than likely will get a limit here. So again, I'm waiting on Cloud. I'm going to wait for Barret's ATB bar to fill. I'm going to do attack and Bolt again. And this is going to give Barret a limit now. So again, just so we're catching up what's going on here. Barret's going to go attack now. And again, like I said to you earlier, during his animation of attack, that limit bar will be full, meaning his ATB bar will fill. So Barret's going to go, then Cloud's going to do bolt, and then in the middle of the bolt animation with Cloud, we're going to put through Barrett's limit by just holding circle. So this gets us an extra 110, 105, depends on how much Barrett limit is. It's usually between 100 and 123 or something. So again, I'm going to hold circle. And we're at good HP, and it's going to be tail laser phase after this limit. And again, I told you before, if we're at 200 plus, we can do attacks at tail laser phase. So each tail laser will do about 72 to 77 damage on Cloud or Barrett. Now, tail laser can crit if we're unlucky. If you get a crit and you die, honestly, just reset. It's fine. It's not a big deal. Don't overthink it. It's fine. We're only like we're about 10 minutes in the run. So 107 damage. So I've not been counting damage. So let's say we've been doing 120, like I said earlier. We're probably on about 607 damage here now, roughly, or 600 damage. So he's got about 200 HP left. Now, in an ideal world, if we were doing steps, I would say let's leave this fight with a braver, like with a full limit for Cloud. But in the case that we're not doing a proper step count and we don't need that limit, we can technically just use it. But if you are beginning to think that you might want to learn this run in the end, it's good practice to have Cloud leaving this fight with a limit. So now it's going to be tail laser phase. Now, depending on how much damage you've done, if you're on 500 or 550 damage, you may want to consider doing 2 bolts with Cloud, because each bolt will only do half damage during tail laser phase, but that will do two tail laser attacks on Cloud and Barrett will do a total damage of 150. So by that point, Barrett will be on 80 HP and Cloud will be on he'll be on Munker HP, like 63, I think. So we want to be a little bit careful here. We obviously don't want to do 3 tail lasers because we'll just get him over. So in this case, we can either attack with Cloud since he hasn't got a limit, or we can do a bolt with Cloud once or even twice. If we do 2 attacks at tail laser phase, whether it's an attack and a bolt, we can do another Barrett limit probably. So let's do that. So I think we're on about 600 HP damage. So I'm going to do an attack with Cloud. I do nothing with Barrett here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to... Oh. That's a bit weird. I've never seen that before. So Cloud actually missed. That was actually really unfortunate. I've never seen that before, by the way, but that's fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attack with Barrett here. So I'm going to do an attack with Cloud. And never mind then. Maybe we won't use that then. That's fine. But what we can do is do bolt. He probably won't die here. I think he'll die to the next attack. That was really rare, by the way. That's so funny that I do that in a tutorial. It's fine. So in this case, he's probably going to die soon. But if you get another search scope, it's fine. We don't need to change any turn order, because by this point, Cloud will probably kill here now. Like so. So this would have been, like, that would have been a reset for me personally, if that was a speedrun setting. Because that miss there made tail laser not happen, which I needed to happen. But I also needed the extra bit of damage. But anyway, I showed you a bad fight. That's probably roughly what you're going to get as a bad fight. So, the thing that can adjust that fight is Barrett and Cloud's attack rolls they do. So Barrett can do anywhere between 31 and 37, and Cloud can do anywhere between 84 and 98 for bolt. But usually whenever it lands on, like, let's say it lands on 84, Cloud can still roll up to 88, but no higher. So it's always within a 4 damage range. So Cloud might even hit 86 to 90 or 88 to 92 and so on and so forth. Or if he hits for 98, he can still go as low as 94. So that randomizes, because each time that Cloud starts the game, his magic stat might just be a little bit more potent or weaker. So, but anyway, we did Guard Scorpion, pick up the assault gun, and now we leave the reactor. There's nothing to note on the way out of the reactor. We just leave. And again, follow my controls if you're just wanting to learn better movement. So this will be an encounter that we wouldn't normally get in a speedrun setting because we walk steps. But again, we're not in the speedrun setting, so just make our way out of the reactor now. Again, you can follow my my inputs, especially if you're not experienced. If you're fairly experienced with the game anyway, you're fine. But you might have an easier time to just follow mine, and you might just start having faster reactors and stuff because of that. So again, we're not doing any setup for preemptive apps, and we're just running now. Feels weird not doing the step count, I'm not gonna lie. So back attacks on us always take like quite a bit of time to run away sometimes. And if you want easier movement on the stairs, as soon as you get to the bottom of the stairs and you're working your way up, you can hold right until you bonk, then do up, then do left, and then do up. And Cloud will move perfectly. It's a nice movement on the stairs. Make sure you go up right in the elevator to the elevator switch, by the way. Don't just go right. And from here, easy movement here. You can hold left and mash near Jesse. And hold X and down here. Mash and you'll talk to Biggs. And then we're going to hold just down until we bonk on the railing. Then we're going to just do X and left. So don't panic about the time. We've got more than enough time. We're about out of the reactor anyway now. Oops. That was maybe hold down. I don't know what happened there. So we bonk like this, look. And then X and left and you're fine. So that's a little bit of my preemptive app setup. But I find that even if I just teach you that, it's smooth movement on the way out. You don't have to worry about, anything else. So in my splits, I have a split for this section here, just to see the time that I leave the reactor for. There's no real need for it, but I just have it. Most people just have guard scorpion, then the next split might be guard skip. So I like to see the time of the reactor leave. I like to just have that there. Once we get these like 3 or 4 text boxes here, I think it's 4, yeah. We're gonna mash, and on the next screen there is this staircase at the back. This staircase can cause you a little bit of issue to get up there. My advice is to just hold X up and run and up, and then move a bit to your right, and then go around it, and then you're on there. You'll see what I mean in a minute. So X and up, move a little bit to the right, and we're on. A little bit of a learning curve to get on that like staircase, if you like, or stairs. Here you just purely mash. Don't worry about any option here for dialogue options. Just mash 3 text boxes, and then you want to like move a bit down to the right and then leave the screen. On the bottom of this screen here, there's going to be a potion. Pick it up, and then on the next screen, if you hold down here, this text box will pop up. Close it quite quickly because it will proceed with the dialogue quicker. And then bottom option for all these, don't get brain dead mashing. Don't get brain dead mashing here. You need to pay attention. Okay, now you can just mash and you don't have to pay attention. So I will try to teach Jesse skip. I may even do a save state just so I can talk through it. Don't worry, if you do not want to try Jesse skip, you do not have to do Jesse skip. It saves you about 12 to 15 seconds, and it is not worth doing if you are not experienced in any way. If you want to just try it because you want to just try it, try it. There's no harm in trying it. If you fail it, you proceed with the story anyway, so it's fine. But if you get it, then you're 50% done it. So let's talk about it. I'm going to fast forward here. It's just mashing. And your visual cue is just when Jesse jumps off the screen. So when Jesse jumps off the screen, like here, you want to do down right a little bit and then down. So down right and down, look. And then here, it's going to be 2 text boxes. Then we're going to do Jesse skip. So when you're at this position, and again, there's no finger on the screen here, we're going to hold run and down, but not fully down, and get to the bottom of the screen. Now what we're looking at here is we're looking at Cloud's legs. So Cloud's legs here, do you see this triangle here? This upside down triangle on Cloud's knees. He has another one here, look. We're aiming to get the tip of that triangle on that black bar at the bottom of the screen. So if you fail this, it's fine. See, like this is failing it. So what happens is if the guy comes out, you just want to run up and back down again, and we can try this again. I will show it off, and if you can do it, great. If you can't do it, just talk to Jesse. So I think it's one more. Oh no, actually that was it. Actually, I don't know why it looks different on the emulator for me, but at least we know what pixel it is. Okay. So once we're at that pixel, so what you can do is try running down, then just do a menu just to stop you. And when you're at this position, if this is the position I need, I guess we'll find out. You want to press triangle, and the minute you press triangle, this menu will pop up, and after this, we're going to hold, we're going to close and then hold immediately X, down, right, and circle like this. Right? And then this will happen. So when this happens, you can close this text box, close that text box, and you wait on this text box. So you're only closing two. And when she says, I like this kind of stuff, bombs and monitors, you know, flashy stuff, this is like you've 50% done the skip. Okay, so what you're going to do here is hold X and up, and when you hear the door noise, you can close this text box. But you can close this text box quite late. If you close it too early, you will fail the skip. So rather you close quite late than too early, if that makes sense. So again, listen to the noise. In fact, I'll do a save state here. Okay, we'll listen for the noise of the door. See, I didn't actually close the text box there, did I? Right? If I didn't close the text box, you can try just to skip again. This is too early. So you can do what I'm doing just to buffer your movement, and this is the position we need again. So again, we try X, X and down right. 1, 2 text box, 3 text box. And we get to this dialogue. X and up, listen for the door. And I just was starting to close then. That might have been enough. I don't know. We'll see. No, it wasn't enough. So we need to still be a little bit, just a little quicker. Because what will happen is if we close too early, like this, let's say we close now, right? Cloud will teleport to the Jesse cutscene. So we don't want that. So listen for the door. There we go. Perfect. So I closed as I heard that noise, and look, Cloud will teleport. So that's Jesse skip. If you don't want to do Jesse skip, run down, just talk to Jesse. It's as simple as that, right? And when Jesse's done here, you want to talk to Barrett. Now it's annoying, she can't actually do up X and up left here because Wedge is in the way. So you kind of want to move a bit to the left and then up left. And then from here it's just mashing. So just mash. Again, at a nice pace, don't hurt yourself. And we'll get a cutscene here. And all you're doing is when Barrett jumps out, you want to hold X and down. Here, look. And then you want to mash. And your visual cue is when Barrett starts to run to the left and stops. You know you're one text box away from being in control. So from here, I preemptively hold X left. And in this game, you can use the shoulder buttons, L1 and R1. And what that will do is that will make Cloud like lean to the left basically when you're running. So in this sense, in a minute, you'll see, look, watch, X and left, L1, and it just makes Cloud run a bit to the left. R1 does this. R1 goes to the right, look, L1 goes to the left. So anyway, when you come through here, just run left. And from this screen, we'll wait until we're in control. I'll just fast forward a bit here. And you want to run off screen, run back on screen again, and then run down left. And what that does is it despawns the NPCs. So run in, X and up left. You can mash here. Don't worry about any text boxes or dialogue options. Just mash at a nice chill pace. Okay. Delete 3 letters. And as soon as this text box is over, you can hold X and down right. And then this will proceed with the story. And again, it's just mashing here until everyone jumps down. When everyone jumps down, run to the pinball machine. Ignore Tifa. Sorry, guys. Okay, for this screen, for movement, you can just hold X and left and then you can just mash. And your visual cue is when Cloud starts to tiptoe into Barrett's face. That's your visual cue to hold X and right after that text box. So here we go. Cloud's coming over. Wait for it. Now I'm holding X and right and I'm mashing this button here, circle, yep. And this will put Cloud in control. When the camera moves and pans to Cloud like this, you can hold X and right and get ready to press the pinball machine. Don't mash there because you can talk to Jesse by mistake. From here, just try to leave the bar, right? And from here, literally, it's just mashing for about 1.5 minutes. So if you have any notes or you're watching this video or something, you can just sit and watch the video while mashing, but just kind of glance at the screen and pay attention. Don't forget what you're doing. Dialogue option here, just mash. So let's fast forward. It's just a flashback here. And you need to pay attention. When you hear the sleep animation, that means you need to pay attention. Okay? And when you hear that, we're going to be continuing on. So here we go. When you hear Barrett's music, which is this track, we're in control. Movement here is up, right, and then up, right, up. Mash circle. Here we're going to talk to Barrett. So you can just hold X and down, then mash Barrett. And what we're looking for is Cloud's feet. When Cloud shuffles his feet, which is right now, look, it's second option. If you choose this option by mistake, you'll lose about 2 minutes. So do not forget, it's second option. Cloud's feet gesture is very obvious. If you're streaming, just pay attention for just that second. So you wouldn't understand, then you want to mash. And just mash. Once Tifa gets to you here and she says, Marlene says good luck, you're good to go. So X and down right. And what we're going to do is we're going to pop to the weapon shop at the bottom of the screen here. Sorry, I realised my finger was off screen. And we're going to run past this guy here. It's a bit of a pain to run past, so I didn't mean to do that. Sorry, man, my fault. There we go. Movement on the screens are a bit hard. Pick up the all material at the bottom of the screen here. And then pick up the chest. Don't mash because you'll talk to the chest. The chest talks, if you didn't guess, look. So just pick up the all and leave. Sorry, the ether and the all. And then what we're going to do is we're going to run down here to the bottom shop. And just, I'll give an advanced tip here. We're going to do a shop here, but just an advanced tip. When you enter the shop, you can actually just tap circle here and you can talk, which is nice. But anyway, items, we're going to sell both ethers and the assault gun and all potions. And keep the phoenix down if you like. Then we're going to buy 31 grenades. Okay? This will leave us with plenty of gil. Okay? Once you've done that, we'll leave. And now we're going to do guard skip. So this is your first port of call for a save. I will take you to the save point. And this is where we would normally save. Okay? I would definitely make a save here. This is a skip that's definitely worth practicing. But I'm going to talk you through it. It's not too difficult, and I will make it as simplified as possible. There's a few visual cues we need to make sure that we have the right pixels we need. This skip saves 18 minutes. It's well worth doing. So if you're stuck in it for half an hour, persevere, keep going. You will get this. And you'll be so happy once you get it. There are many guides out there and many ways you can do it and many different variations. But I will give you, in my opinion, hopefully a simple way of doing it. So the first rule is on the screen here. We're going to hold run and don't let go until we get the pixel we need. And we're going to line up Cloud's hair with that rock in the middle of the screen there. So if we get this, it's not right. If we get this, it's not right. this is right. So I'll take off my finger so you can see. You can screenshot if need be. And if you're doing this on Steam, your pixels will look a little different. So just keep that in mind. And mine might look different because it's on emulator, but it should look relatively the same. It can't be looking crazily different. Don't ever let go of X and start like nudging like this. Don't do that. Okay? Just run on screen. Let's turn the finger back on again. Run on the screen, hold X, and if you run past it, you can just run back again and try again. And you're looking for the correct pixel. If you keep like hitting the wrong one, like here, 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 and here, these are all wrong obviously, and here, you know, keep going and eventually you will land on the right one if you just hold run. Okay, now from this pixel, we're going to hold X and down. I'm going to let go of X, right? And see my controls, please refer to them. Then we're going to do down left and then down. And from here, we're going to tap left. He says, there we go. And you can, what we're looking at is Cloud's arm. You can see there's like 1 pixel of the guy's sleeve poking through Cloud's arm. Again, on Steam, this will look different, but it's the same premise. You can even use the same controls that I'm using. Okay, from here, we're about 40% through. So from here, we're going to do X and down right. This will take us in this little nook here. And you can let go of all buttons here. And you can hold R1 and you're going to press left. You're just going to press, not tap, press. Okay, like this. Then from here, you do X and down right. And then let go of X and Cloud will flinch. Okay, let go of everything. And you're going to do R1. And now, as we do this, we need to get to a specific pixel. I mean, again, you can screenshot on screen when we get it. And I will also teach you, as my friend, shout out to Dino, who taught me the backup strat if you do go past the pixel. So from here, again, we do R1 and left. Now, I tapped left and it was too light. So we're not at the pixel I need. And what I'm looking at is this arm, this arm right here that I'm pointing at with the right side of the arrow, if you like. So this arm is what we're looking at. So this pixel is not the right one. So I'm going to hold R1 and tap left again. So this is now nudged me further, but this is still not the right pixel. I can tell because usually I like to think of Cloud's arm going into like a sausage shape. So one more. Sorry, I'm trying to be light here. This is the one. So this pixel right here, I will move my cursor so you can see, but you can see it's just barely visible. If I was to do one more, it would be too much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a save state here. We're going to continue the skip. I'm going to show you what happens if you go past this pixel, and then I will go through the entire skip again to show you the entire skip. So from here, it's X and down right, and we're through. I told you we were halfway done earlier, so let's go back. So let's say in this case, we go too far, like this. So we've gone too far, what do we do? So we do X and down right and nothing happens, right? So you want to just do R1 and tap left again. And then you want to do X and down right. And then from here you do R1, tap left. And again, now you can see that we're back up to the pixel where we need to be again. But not this one. It's this one, and we're through. And that's the backup for if you messed it up, so you don't have to run off screen again. But before we go any further, I'm going to do the skip one more time, and I'm going to talk through the exact controls once again. I will just move my cursor off screen. So from here, we run off screen, we hold an X only until we get to the correct pixel, which is this one right here. And for the purpose of this, I will just do the skip without the cursor on screen. From here, I'm still holding my, again, refer to my controls, X and down, let go of X. From here, we do down left and down, right? From here, we tap left. Okay, like this. If you go too far and you're like over here, just move right and left until you get to roughly the right pixel, which I think is this one right here. But once you get to this pixel, you can do X and down right. And then you can let go of everything if you want. From here, we do R1 and we press left. We don't tap, but don't press too heavy either. So just press left. Okay. Then it's R1. Sorry, not R1, I'm sorry. Then it's X and down right. Cloud will flinch, let go of X, look. Then let go of everything. R1, tap left until we get that sausage pixel. So again, tapping left wasn't enough for me. Not again. Sorry, I'm trying to go light here, but I'm on emulator. There we go. And we get this pixel here. So, and again, from this point, if you get this pixel, you're through. If you get this pixel on the first time you press R1 and left, it's not enough. You need to get this pixel twice then. So again, X and down right, and we're through. And that's guard skip. From here, just to point out, we have got the whole party still as normal. Please, please, please don't run anywhere except run to Wall Market. If you run to Aerith's house, you will soft lock the game. So don't do that. There's nothing for you there. There's nothing at Aerith's house. There's nothing anywhere. So from here, you're told the only place for you to go is Wall Market. So from here, we run right. And if you have a split, I split here personally for the Wall Market skip. So let's talk about the Wall Market. So there's a few dialogue options and things that we need to choose. And we need to go to a lot of different places at a lot of specific times. Other than that, there's no boss fights, so we're good to go. So once you close this first text box, you can run up right a bit and right and down right and right. And from here, we're going to talk to this guy in red. So rather than running right around like here and talking to him, which we can do, we're going to do this. So we're going to run on the screen. We're going to hold X and right and X and up and then just talk. Okay? Easy movement. And you just talk. Choose a top option. And you're looking for the last text box that says Don Corneo. You can buffer X and left and close that text box. And from here, we're going to run up to the Don Corneo's mansion. And we're going to just mash that dialogue there. And then we're going to go to the material shop. On this screen, on your way up, you will need to add an L1 here, or an up left here, just because you will bonk into that rail in there. You'll see that I use L1 and R1 for movement quite often. It's quite handy in this game, and you can use it for a lot of movement to optimize movement and stuff in this game. The longer you play, the more you'll get adjusted with that. But again, you don't have to, by no means, if you're generally good with just the D-pad. And by the way, if you're on Steam, like if you can use D-pad, honestly use D-pad. I don't use analog. It's not good in my opinion. So from here, we run down, and for this screen, just as an advanced movement tip, you can just hold X and down. You don't have to do anything, just hold X and down. On the way up, for some reason, you have to press L1, but on the way down, you don't have to do anything. And from here, you want to take this corner quite tight and get to this material shop. Talk to him here and just mash. The visual cue is the text box that says just finished or finished, I think it is. Yeah, right here. And then leave. Then from here, we go to the dress shop. Always hold run and up when you enter this dress shop here, because Cloud will like run to his position to talk rather than walk. So might save you a second or two. Mash here until Aerith does this animation right now. That one. When she did that animation there, that's when I know I'm in control, because then it's one text box and then it's just X and down right. From here, we run down to the diner. Close this first text box. Don't mash when you enter either. Don't wait for that text box and close it. Then just run up left until it says sit down and sit. And you can mash this dialogue here. Now, there is an important dialogue option coming up here, and it will end your run if you don't do it. And the best visual cue is that when you get your food, Cloud will take 3 spoonfuls, and then you want to choose it's alright, or the second option, which is right now. So watch. Here's his food. 1, 2, 3 spoonfuls. Second option, mash, 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 and then leave. From here, we're going to go to the pharmacy. Go in here. We're going to do 3 text boxes. 1, 2, 3. Then it's bottom option, confirm and leave. Then from here, we go to the inn, run X and up. Stay there night. We need the gil. We've got 10 gil. Plus we need another 200 gil for the option here that we need. Then we're going to sleep. Just fast forward a little bit there. And then we're going to leave here. Next we have the material shop once again. And this is just mashing. The last your visual or audio cue and visual cue is this noise here. Wait for it. This one. And after that text box, you just hold X and down. And then what you're going to do is you're going to run down here and you're going to save. You are going to save right now because we're about to try and do bar skip. So bar skip saves you a good 12 or 15-ish seconds, depending on how fast or slow you are. So when you run from the material shop, we're going to run into here. And this is bar skip. If you do not want to do bar skip, all you do, I won't do it either because I mean I can do it actually, I suppose. Let me just save here. Bar skip, as I say, only saves 15 seconds. If you're not comfortable with this, because bar skip can soft lock. What you'll want to do, if you're not doing a skip, you run in, you talk to the guy, and you just mash. Right, and you get the sexy cologne. And from here, you can talk to the old man and talk to him. And you'll choose bottom option, and that's it, right? And you'll leave. So, but we're not doing that. That's if you're not doing bar skip. If you want to do bar skip, I'm going to talk through it and you can see my controls and everything. Let's talk. So movement in bar is shit. It's not very good. So don't worry if you're like, oh, I can't get through. I don't know how to get through. What's the best way? There's no best way in my opinion. Just do the skip, right? It doesn't matter. Just get from A to B. Bar skip or moving through the bar is just annoying anyway, right? So from here, we're going to run in. And I'm going to run to this door. Now this door can be a bit finicky at times, but we're going to talk to the door or talk to the person inside the door. Then we're going to make our way to this guy at the bottom of the screen. Look, but I haven't closed this text box yet. Then I'm going to click circle, right? And so I've pressed and I'm going to run now over to the toilet guy. And I'm going to look at the guy in the toilet, then look away at the door. This will then shut the door. Then we're going to mash. And we're going to mash, and the text box we're looking for is a tough looking guy like that, which is this one. Excuse me, this one right here. So once you get this, we're then going to look at the door again, but make sure you get as close as you can. Look at the door, click circle once, then run all the way down, and you can't see, but there's a guy here. Right at the bottom, see where Cloud is now? Just above here, there's a guy in red. And you want to kind of get in between those like 2 bar stools, like here, look. If you can quite see, because the text box is in the way. You want to get right in that corner, right? And talk to the guy. And just click circle on him once. As you can see, nothing happened. Okay? So from here, you're going to now run all the way to the guy in the toilet. Okay? Get as close as you can. And then you're going to mash until it says give medicine, and then you're going to click yes medicine. So like this. Medicine? Yes. Okay. Don't worry if this next text box pops up. Don't close any more text boxes. We're going to hold run here. And we're going to run towards the exit look, but we're not going to leave. We're going to get to the edge look right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to close this text box, choose soft shimmers, close this text box. Don't mash here. Let this text box load fully up. Close it. Do not close this text box. And you exit. And that's bar skip done. And if you do exactly what I just said, you will not soft lock. Again, you don't need to do this in a run if you're not comfortable doing it. From here, we're going to run down, back to the dress shop, exit up to talk to the dress shop owner again. I'm going to talk here, and we just mash. Nothing to note. Once Aerith enters your body, giggity goo, you're going to run out, and we're going to run to the gym, which is right here. Make sure, again, I'll just explain to you why I would say hold run. If you were to run to this NPC and put walking look, you'll see that Cloud will walk now to his position here. So if I was to hold X and up though and still hold X, Cloud runs to position. So it's just a small thing. And there's both the times when you talk to the dress shop owner at the actual till or whatever, you want to be holding run because he'll walk into position both times. And one of the times that he walks to the changing room, so just make sure you're holding run for those ones. But again, don't worry, we're just trying to get you through Midgar. From here, you want to mash, and your visual cue is when the PlayStation buttons come up on the text boxes, and once that happens, like this here, 1, 2, 3, got it, and then we're gonna close these text boxes 1, 2, 3. Then it's going to be don't need practice, and then after this, squat start. If you are not good at squats, this is good for having that save point or a save state. And it's square, X, and circle in case you didn't see that already. And you don't want to go too fast, but you don't want to go too slow. So just be in the rhythm of squats. If you fail this squat, the run is over. If you draw the squats with the guy, the run is over. So just make sure you win and save and reload if need be. But you can do this. So we're going to close here and do square, X, circle. And you can kind of see the rhythm that I go at on the emulator. You ready? Let's go. Nice and easy. And I'm actually more looking at Cloud than anything. I don't try and go too fast. I'm not trying to like get 39 squats or anything. The highest you can get is 21 anywhere, depending on you know, the pace of Cloud and all these other things. But don't worry, we're just trying to win. The more the big bro scratches his head, the best. So 20 squats though. He got 15. So if I had only done 14 and he did 15, he would have won me and the run would be over. So we want the blonde wig, okay? From here, just mash. Once she punches, it's 2 text boxes and we leave. Now we go to the dress shop, and this time, rather than running to the owner, we run straight to the changing room. And we mash. Aerith chooses her outfit. She'll say, you guys are no fun, and she'll enter Cloud and you're in control again. So from here, we run up to Don Corneo's mansion now. Remember to press L1 on R1 to navigate through here, look, so L1. Then R1 if you want. And again, talk to the guy here. And again, your visual cue is Aerith says, oh, we need to go and find Tifa. That's your visual cue of text box. But I think it's 2 text boxes. He says, hey ladies, right? So this is 1, then 2 text box, then Aerith will say, now's our chance, let's find Tifa or T. So from here, you're going to close that text box and get up this staircase. Pro tip for the staircase, I'll do a save state here, is it's a bit hard to like just navigate up the stairs when you're running, look. Sometimes you can even miss it even if you're walking, look. It can be a bit hard. So I like to like, from roughly down here, I do down right into upright. That's what I normally do. So again, I've just closed the text box, down right, upright. Just a little tidbit because a lot of people will struggle here. Advanced tip here is just hold X and left until you engage with Tifa, and then now just mash. Now your visual cue is when Tifa and Aerith start saying right Cloud or right C, or isn't that right C? In a minute you'll see that. So they talk for a bit, and it's going to be these 2 text boxes is your visual cue. So Aerith laughing is your first visual cue to pay attention. Then she looks at him and says right C, and then she says C. And from here, you want to run up and left a bit to Tifa, and then just mash. And then just mash again. Just keep mashing. Until you're in control again. Your visual cue is when Tifa walks around Cloud to talk to Aerith like this. And when the guy comes down the staircase, like this one here, and you close these text boxes, Cloud says a couple of lines here. He says 1, 2, right? These two lines. And then these guys have 2 lines. And from this point, you want to be buffering X and left and mash circle. To pick up the ether. Then we're going to hold X and right only. They'll join your party. And you run. Then we're going to run to Don Corneo's mansion, which is X and upright to up. And then X and up to tap L1 a bit. And from here, it's just mashing. And if you've done all of Wall Market correctly, Cloud should be picked. If you've done things correctly, Cloud should be picked. This is the faster option, getting picked. If you did not get picked, reload your game from the basket. From here, again, this is beginner percent. From here, we're going to enter here, close your 2 text boxes, and then behind Don Corneo's bed, he has his hyper. Then we're going to talk to Don Corneo, close his text box, it's bottom option, close his text box, bottom option, and then you can mash. Now you just mash. And your visual cue is after they say smash him, grab him, and all this. So my visual cue is after Aerith, Tifa let go of the bed, like they put their legs on the bed, look, like Cloud. So you'll see, look. Then I start to pay attention, like, now. So run out, and you just mash. Don't worry about this option. And when you see woohoo wrong, that's it, you're out. That's Don Corneo's mansion and Wall Market done. From here, it's just more mashing. So nothing to note here, just mashing. Okay, now we're going to end up in the sewers. And again, this is beginner percent, so there's no preemptive app setup. So we're going to run down here, run around this corner, pick up the potion. This is just backup in case you need it. And then you're going to talk to Tifa, 2 text boxes, and then we're going to talk to Aerith. And what we're going to do next after that is we're going to start this fight with the boss fight with Cloud doing bolt and Tifa and Aerith doing grenades. And then after Cloud's first bolt, you can switch Cloud to grenades and you're just going to throw grenades. That's it. If Cloud has a limit, which we do, you can also use it at the start of the fight and then do bolt. Or bolt and then you can do limit rather. And then just do grenades for Tifa and Aerith. If you get worried and for some reason Aerith gets a healing a limit and you want to heal, you can use healing wind, but you shouldn't need to. And again, you have got a backup potion if you're scared, but if you do exactly what I'm about to say, you will not die here. So again, talk to Tifa for 2 text boxes, then Aerith. She says 3 text boxes, 1, 2, 3, or 4 text boxes. And then the fight starts. So I will start this fight with bolt with Cloud and then grenades. So I'm actually going to do grenade, and then I'm going to do bolt. Actually, I should have done bolt first, but never mind. It's fine. It's fine, either way. As long as you do 1 bolt somewhere. Just keep doing grenades. Do braver now. And then I'm holding circle, look, because we're on cursor. Okay, and then now I'm going to go to item for Cloud and do grenade. And then grenade with Tifa. I wouldn't advise using Tifa's limit because she won't do anywhere near the strength of a grenade anyway, but you know, again, if you want to, you can do. It's just a bit slower. I wouldn't bother. And without any further ado, you should be dead. And again, that's the damage I took. So, you know, even if I took an extra 100 damage each, we would have lived anyway. Remember, if you have a split here, we split. We split 3 text boxes, and then we're gonna make our way on the ladder here. Run down and up and around. Pick up the steel materia. And we got an encounter. Should be a preempt. Yeah, I was gonna say it should be a preemptive anyway. And from here, we're gonna make our way to the train graveyard. Should be another encounter. That's fine. Let's run away. Like so. And that concludes the sewers. Sewers, nice and easy and done. Train graveyard, of course, very hard movement in train graveyard. And one, if you become a bit more of a serious runner, you'll want to practice this movement. So do take the option to save your game here. I would. So this would be a nice save point. And you can hold just X and right and you'll run to the save point immediately. Save your game. From here, grab the ladder. Grab this high potion. Just ran past it, my bad. High potion. Make your way to the left and round of here. Grab that potion as well. And added tip here, I believe Dave Stereo went over this years ago, that's how I learned. You can hold X up, right and L1 here, and this will put Cloud in a perfect position to run to the ladder there. Then you want to do the circle to grab it. Then you can do R1 up left. And L1, sorry, I let go of L1 there. And you want to run this way. Run through here, grab the potion. And the item on the left hand side, if you want to pick it up, you can do. Obviously, it will be slower. I think it's just a potion. I think you're fine for potions at this point. You're going to be on 3 now. And you're going to be on... And you've got a high potion, but again, we need these items. So yeah. You can hold R1 and X and up here, and then let go of R1 when you're near the train door. This will run Cloud into the train. Once the train's moved, we hold X and right here. I sometimes hold L1 just for nicer movement there. Another encounter. Again, I might see me do the change animation look. And in that case, you see that the animation made me run away. Run around here into the train. Once the train's driven, you can hold X and right here. And you can kind of like, you can actually just hold X and right and mash circle. And then you're going to run and grab, it's X and upright on this ladder by the way. And you can run and grab this high potion. And hold X and left. And then you can just hold X and left this entire screen now. And mash circle for the ladder. Then you just hold X and left for these screens. So X and left, X and left. And this starts. So nothing but mashing here. And once we're in control here, we're going to hold X and up until Cloud hits the railing of this fence. I'll show you here. So X and up, watch him hit the railing. Then from here we do R1 and we're in. That's how you move up that ladder easy. So again, X and up, add R1, Cloud's in. Worth maybe having that save point is worth maybe just throwing a save here, just so you can practice this next bit coming up. So moving on these stairs here can be a little bit weird. For this first screen, it's just you can just use up, down, left, right. So you can do like X and left, X and down, X and right, X and up, left, down, right. Just nice and easy movement. The same deal goes from here. It's X and up, left, down, and so on and so forth. I'm not showing optimal movement, but I'm just showing you the buttons you need to press. So Tifa got a limit. That's fine. Can we run away, please? Thank you. And you're going to make your way to Barrett. And I would do a menu here. So after 3 text boxes, I would do a menu. And I would do A to B wait. And I would do back row, back row. You can leave Cloud the front row, it's fine. Okay. And we just press circle here, we just continue. And the strategy for this fight is, if possible, if Cloud can do 1 normal attack in this fight, do 1 regular normal attack. And Barrett and Tifa just do grenades. If Barrett has a limit, you can use it. And if Cloud has a limit, you can also use it. It's fine. And the fight starts like this. So, advanced strat here. If I hold up and circle here, Tifa might get a grenade off early, look. See? And I'm going to do an attack with Cloud here. And then I'm going to do grenade with Barrett. Just for shits and giggles, I'm going to use Tifa's limit. And see, you can see that the damage isn't worth doing, you see. But now he's going to do pyramid. Reno's first turn will always be pyramided. In an ideal situation, we would like Tifa to be pyramided because she has the littlest HP, as you can see. And in this case, for some reason, I don't know why the game does this, but Tifa and Barrett will not be healed for a long time now. They won't be healed until after the sample fight in the Shinra building. Cloud does get a full heal after this fight, so whatever damage he takes in this fight is perfect. It's fine. So, ideally in a situation, Tifa gets pyramided. In the instance that Barrett gets a limit, you can use it. If you are looking at like smashing this time, just use grenades, because limit breaks can take a little bit longer, right? And from here, once you've done the normal attack with Cloud, which we have done, we just go into grenade look. Well, I didn't mean to attack with Tifa, that was my fault. So don't do an attack with Tifa. It's fine though. So again, Cloud took damage there. And as you can see here, we're just throwing out grenades everywhere. I'm going to use Cloud's limit here. This will save me. Oh, no, never mind. He's dead. That's fine. So otherwise, good fight, minus the attack I did with Tifa. And a reminder here to split. And by the way, splitting, I split on the take everything screen, the reward screen. As soon as you're in control, talk to Tifa. And then after this, you're going to look at the console. And that's all you need to do. You can move Cloud like over here if you like, and then just mash. So there's nothing to see here, you just want to mash. By the way, accidentally don't fumble your controller. If you press triangle, you will open the menu and kill yourself sometime. So don't do that either. So just mash circle and be quick. Skipping forward here now. When you see Sung fly up in the air, and then when the camera starts panning up here from Sung, like right now, you want to move Cloud look here preemptively to move him in front of Barrett here, and just mash circle there. And then once Barrett says this text box, have Cloud stand on this like crack here, look. Just have him stand there and he'll get ready to jump automatically. And from here, it's a 1 minute bathroom break. So this is our first 1 minute bathroom break. It's about 57 seconds, so don't take forever. But you've got a good chunk of time here if you need to go restroom or grab a drink of water and stuff. So I'll do that right now. I'll drink some water. Okay, and once these text boxes here start commencing, this is where you need to mash. Okay, so a mash. I'm going to skip forward because it's just mashing here. You want to skip until Cloud is solo. Now, this is again, this is beginner route, so I'm going to make you do a safety menu here. It's a really simple menu. So in the instance that, because we're on A to B wait for that last fight, we're going to go to A to B active, and you can also do Cloud back row. Okay, this is just safety. And again, as you can see from that Reno fight, he took a beating, but yet Cloud's at full HP. So if you don't know where you were, if you don't know your way through the construction yard, Yeah, again, you can refer to my controls here. And you can also look at the route I'm taking. So if you need to draw yourself a map to remember, it's not a bad idea. Or if you just want to watch your video back, you can do. But yeah, run down. And then mash dialogue here until Cloud has this little small flashback. After 2 text boxes there, they'll enter Cloud. And from here, you want to run around. And there'll be an encounter. I think it's a preempted Hell House. Maybe that's on the way back, I'm not sure. But yeah, you want to run away from the Hell House, obviously. If you get a Hell Bomber put on you, it's fine. No problem. Take 20 damage. It's fine. This is why Barrett and Tifa are on the back row, so they take less damage for us. Run round. Run round. And again, you can watch my controls to have good movement. If you don't recognize, like, if you don't know these screens too well, don't worry. Like, just take your time. In FF8, you had to remember each screen so that you could buffer your movement in advance to save some steps. That is not the case in Final Fantasy VII. So from here, pick up the items I picked up. It was the ether and the cover materia. You're going to enter Aerith's house, and it's just mashing for about 3 minutes. And the only visual cue you'll want is when it pans from like a bird's eye-ish view of Barrett and Elmira talking. That's your first visual cue. Then your next visual cue is I'm looking for a text box that says, "You see?" Or "Do you see what I mean?" I think that's what Barrett says, right? Which is, now they're talking, look. So this is my first visual cue. And he says, look, see, Barrett says, "See, I'm going in circles now." So after this, I know that after this text box, it's this text box, and you'll want to be in control of Cloud. From here, beginner percent, we're going to run in here. Okay. We're going to run in. We're at the door here, this white pouch here. We're going to pick it up. It's a potion and a Phoenix down. We're also going to use Aerith's bed, or spare bedroom, and sleep. This is because Barrett and Tifa have taken damage. This is just to give you some extra HP and no worries. And in case for some reason you were sadness or something in Train Graveyard, then you're no longer. From here, we're going to leave, and we're going to make our way out of the house. Again, just mash here until you leave. On the next screen, you'll get 4 text boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you want to hold X and left. And we're going to go to the shop here. Shop's just up here. And we're going to go in. And I think when you go in, you want to kind of like do an upright. Talk to him. 2 text boxes. And we're going to talk. And we're going to sell everything except the grenades, because obviously we need grenades. And we're going to sell 2 Phoenix Downs. Just 2. And we're going to save, we're going to keep 1. So sell all the ethers. We're going to sell the hyper. We can sell the high potions. And we can even sell all the potions. Okay. And from here, we're going to buy 54. It's probably a bit overkill, but no, let's go with 54. 54. That leaves us with the nice number of grenades, 69. That gives us 69 grenades, which is a nice amount. And this might seem overkill, especially if another runner's watching this guide. It's overkill because I'm preparing in case people are going to get hit on the sneaky guards game. So, but yeah, 69 grenades. You've got about 80 gil leeway. You want to have at least 300 gil. So I will talk through some other stuff we can do. So at this point, we should be at full HP. You're on A to be active for everyone. Everyone's on the back row. And you've bought 69 grenades. And in your items, you should have 69 grenades and 1 Phoenix Down. That Phoenix Down is just buffer. It's in case you need it or just to make you feel better. It's just for reassurance. From here, we want to run down and left. And make our way through the construction yard once again. Again, you can refer to my controls. I thought this was going to be a preemptive Hell House, but I guess not. I just want to say one more thing actually, just as a precaution. So after the Reno fight, before we make our way to Aerith's house, Cloud starts on the screen after the playground. The reason why I wanted you to switch to A to be active is because, and Cloud back row, is because Cloud is so low. He's actually so low from this section here until he meets up with Barrett and Tifa here. So this small stretch here on his own, from there to there, Cloud's solo. And if Cloud was on front row and you had 4 of those, the last encounter I just had, those sickle enemy guys, I forget what they're called now, Grashers I think they're called or something. If 4 of them are attacking Cloud, they can do a lot of damage. So it's just unfortunate, and obviously if you're on ATB weight, it would make running away harder, since the you know, the escape, the imaginary escape bar is on weight and not on active. So that's the reason why I did that, just as an FYI. Wanted to explain that in case. But anyway, we ignore the materia here, by the way, just so you know. Sorry, I was checking something. We ignore that yellow materia. So yeah. If you find that you bonk here, just move a bit to the left and you'll go around. And don't like run up right here. You want to run a direct right, you'll zone quicker. And from here, what we're going to do is we're going to make our way to the weapon shop to get a battery. If for some reason you want a potion, because you can afford it and you've got 383 gil, right? If you want a potion, you can go in here, I think, and you can buy a potion. If you want one potion just for safety, you can do. If you want it, you can. Okay? If you want to buy a potion, you can do. But you shouldn't need it, in my opinion. But in case you want it, the option is there for you. From here, we're going to make our way to the second screen of Wall Market. And again, you can see I'm using the R1 button here for movement. We're going to run in, talk to the guy. And we need 300 gil, because it's 100 gil per battery. We have 3, remember. That's why you need 300 gil. And we're going to make our way to the Shinra building. You're about halfway done from a beginner percent. Those curious as to how far you're done. So from here, just talk to the guy, or girl, sorry, little girl. And make your way up the ladder here. Or the shiny pole of hope, or whatever they call it. Shiny wire of hope. And on this screen, we're going to get some extra items and things. Just some more safety stuff. Run around here. And put this in. Advanced tip for movement here. When you've finished this movement here, you can hold X up and tap R1. It will help Cloud get up onto this propeller a little bit easier. Like so. X and up, X and left. X and left, and go X up left and mash circle here. Put this in. Now, if you are going to continue this run after Midgar, it's a good mindset to get in, to close these two text boxes, and then run up the screen. This is more if you're thinking of going past Midgar a bit longer. But if you are, pick up this battery here. Oh, sorry, ether. Use this battery here for the ether. Then you want to make your way down. If you're just doing Midgar, you technically don't need to worry too much, but it's still nice to maybe have it in case you need, for some reason, just as an extra safety item. That'd be good for Gil or something. I don't know, just I don't know, just an idea. Okay, so once we get the text boxes again, we're going to close these two text boxes. And what we're doing here is we're listening for an audio cue. You don't want to press, as you hear it. I pressed it a bit prematurely then. It worked because of a delay. But you just want to listen for the E and then do it. So ready for it? See? And that was too late. So there you go, look. So you hear the creak and you go for it. So it's a bit of a funny one. It just has a little bit of a feel for it. Also emulate has a slight delay sometimes. See? So if it's swinging and it's already at you, like as far as it'll swing, you're gonna be way too late grabbing it. If it's like far away, obviously you're not gonna grab it. If it's here, you'll still miss it. Like so. Yeah. So there you go. Make your way to the next screen. Up left here a bit. And then more up left to down right. To hold right to up. On this next screen, we're going to switch to ATB wait. You can mash this dialogue, by the way. I would highly recommend you take the save point right here. Definitely worth a save. Definitely worth a save. You are going to switch to ATB wait, and everyone, if they're not already, they should be on back row. And from here, you would take the stairs. It's boring, it's safe, but it's boring, but it's still safe. I recommend, if you want to try the elevator in a run, like let's say you've beaten the game a couple of times doing Midgar 80%, this exact route I'm doing right now, and you want to try to beat your own time, you can test the elevator out and see that maybe the elevator might be faster. But you're at the immersive RNG anyway. But the staircase is safer because you don't have any encounters and you can get an extra elixir on the way, which is just another safety item. So, and again, if you just plan to run further past Midgar, then the elixir will do you a favour. So, and definitely will come in handy. But if you are looking at just beating your Midgar 80%, you can try to do the elevator, because the elevator could be faster than the stairs. The stairs is about 4 minutes long of just running, and your only thing that you're paying attention for is an elixir halfway up the screens somewhere. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to hold my spacebar and run up quickly here, just for the sake of speeding things up here a little bit. And again, you're looking at the stairs. You don't even have to mash dialogue, by the way. But we're looking for an elixir, and it'll be on like the left side of the screen, like over here somewhere, like over here. Easy to miss as well, I guess. But actually, I say it's easy to miss. Actually, it's hard to miss. There it is. Look, elixir. Pick it up. Continue up the stairs. There's a couple of instances where you have to mash, like here. Look. But only a couple of text boxes. Continue running up. And this is the last staircase flight. Once we get to the top of the stairs, we're going to be out in this hallway right here. You don't have to do this, but it's a good mindset to be in for if you ever learn steps. Because how this fight is, right now, step count is not live, but you don't want to just run forward like this. I guess in any percent, it doesn't matter. It would be technically quicker for you, potentially. But I would run like down here, past the green sofa, then run down a bit, then run up to the guard like here. That's what I would do. And the reason for this is because if you engage from far away, that distance that you've engaged from till the elevator, you're building up a chance that you can get an encounter, which in terms of speedrun terms could kill you some time. But if I get close here, step count's not live until after this fight, which is random, but I've got a shorter distance now to run to the elevator, so I'm minimizing the chance of a encounter. Now in this fight, this is called the mighty grunts. Most runners have splits here for it. So if you have a split here, this is your split for after this fight. And what we're going to do here is we're on ATB wait. And this is kind of our first real attempt at ATB wait tricking. And what we want to do for each red guard, you want to throw one grenade on each. Because what that does is that breaks them out of their red armor. And when they're out of their red armor, it actually resets their ATBs that we can't see. So they're imaginary ATBs, it resets them to empty. So when I throw a grenade, if I get first turn and throw the grenade on the first soldier, he's not getting a turn for a long time. So the aim of this fight is that we aim that they don't get any turns. But what we want to do is we want to throw more than likely what's going to happen is you're going to throw your first 2 grenades on the first 2 people whose turns they have not had yet. So when this fight starts, if the guy at the back has not had a turn yet, but the other 2 guys have had a turn already before I've even thrown any grenades, I want to start with the guy at the back because he might have a turn lined up and I might be able to beat his turn. And then that will reset his ATB, meaning he won't get that turn in. And then I will then move on to the person who hit me first. I could go for his ATB, and then you see what I mean. So let's see here. So let's see which turn order we get. So ATBs are really bad here. So as soon as this fight starts, I'm going to go into the item menu like this, and now I'm looking. So this guy's got a turn, right? These 2 have not had a turn yet. So I don't want to throw the grenade in this guy. Okay, I want to throw it on these 2 because this guy's ATB bar is probably empty now because he's just had a turn. And we're on wait now, so we can sit here all day, look. Let me speed up to show you. See, they won't get a turn now, ever, right? This is ATB wait. So from this point, I definitely don't want to throw a grenade on this guy. I want to throw a grenade on these 2 guys, one of these 2 guys. So what I'm going to do here is the minute I put this through, I'm going to press up and circle because Cloud's also got his turn. This is Tifa's, look. See? And the same deal, the guy at the back's not had a turn yet. And I'm going to go into a menu here with with Barrett. So now I'm going to throw the guy who went first now. And then the turn order is going to be Tifa's ATB bar's going to fill. We're going to throw Tifa on the second guy, the guy in the middle there. So this guy right here. Then Cloud's going to kill this guy. Then Barrett's going to kill this guy. So like this. See? And do you see how the guy at the beginning got a turn and that's it? That's it, because we reset their ATBs. So that's how that fight would work. I did it nice and slow. I don't think I need to do that again. I think that was a really good demonstration there of how you want to minimize how many attacks they get in. And it doesn't just work for this fight. If you fight any of the other red guards, and we'll talk about that in a minute, then that can... You're going to hear the music stop here, and that's fine. That can also save you some time with the lack of turns that they get. So ideally, in a perfect scenario, which Final Fantasy is never perfect, in a perfect scenario, you will have a turnless order, and that'll save you the most time, but it's rare. After this, we're going to do... Sorry, I'm preparing some for the next thing. We're going to close these 2 text boxes and run on the elevator here. Then we're going to run to the left here, use the elevator, don't mash, and do floor 60. Now, coming up, we have one of the harder mini games that we'll be doing in Midgar any %, and it is a bit of a pain, but I'm going to do my best to talk through and explain everything. So, let's start. Let's demonstrate first the guards. So these guards, let's talk. I'm just doing this so we can see the guards. So, if you want to do the fastest strat, what we're going to do here, I need to see my OBS here so I can show you here. What we're going to do is, if we're doing fast guards, we need to look at these guys only for now, okay? And the fast guards revolves around like moving really quickly to get in here to close those text boxes, to run Cloud and get him into position here quickly, and then have him run across. And then it'll be Barrett's turn where this pops up, and then we're going to close this text box, move Barrett, and move him across, right? I'm not doing fast guards now, by the way, I'm just talking out loud. And then we will watch the guys on the right hand side and mash Tifa across. I know that was a bad example, but so I will, you kind of already see what I'm doing. So let's see if I can talk through first the fast guards. So first, rule number one, rule number one is X and upright to leave the screen. It must be X and upright. Don't do X and right, because Cloud will stand in the middle of the elevator here, look. And if Cloud exits from the bottom left, he stands on the right hand side of the elevator, look. So make sure you do upright, because this will lead him on the left side of the elevator here, look. And that is the closest way to the door. So X and upright, X and up left here, X and upright, mash two dialogue boxes, hold run to get Cloud into the middle here. Wait for the guards to turn, run. We're only looking at the left guards for now, right? Barrett closes text box, moves, move, and move. From here, we're looking at the guys on the right hand side now. When they move into position now, we can mash and have Tifa come across quickest. And I looked at the guards on the right hand side as my visual cue. I don't know if I explained that really well there. And the guards on the right, the best way to do this, in my opinion, is to count to 1, 2, 3, go. So let's do it together. Look, wait for it. 1, 2, 3, go. 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 See, you don't go and go on this one, on this side of the red guards, because Barrett and Tifa won't make it to the position they need to be at. So what I would do is wait for the guys to be on the far right hand side of those statues. So again, so first we're looking for Cloud and Barrett, we're looking at the top left guards. Okay, but you have to be fairly good with your movement here, so just run in, follow my movement, X and up left, into the door, X and up right, hold X and up right, go into right, get Cloud into the middle, wait for both guys to turn on the left, run across, close this text box first, then move Barrett, then again, and then again. And then now we're looking at the top right hand side guards. When they move now, that gets Tifa across. Cloud can run here. He can run straight across here. Barrett can move, and again, and again. Now Tifa, look. 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, don't go. 1, 2, 3, go. And that is fast guards. Now, that was a bad example, and I feel like I didn't explain that very well, but I showed you through it. You can watch it back in reverse. Oh, sorry, watch it back in slow motion if need be. But now I will do it the safer way. So safe way is literally take your time. Notice the pattern. Don't worry about the clock timer. Just take your time. So you can even walk to the first pillar if you want, and walk again, look. Right, if you need to. So take it nice and easy. No need to rush at all. And when you're ready and you've seen a pattern, you can run. So what I would advise here is when both guards move to the position you're in right now, you can have Cloud run straight across. So wait for it. So they're at the far right now. They're going to swap positions, and then they're going to move to the far left, and we're going to run. And Cloud runs straight across, look. With Barrett, the same deal, but close text box first. But we can move him now since we're free. And again, when they move to the left here, go now. But these guys on the left are not 1, 2, 3, go, in my opinion. So these are 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So it's kind of a routine I get in, but right now, why wouldn't I move Tifa there, you see? So we're fine. And then wait for the guys to move and go. Nice and easy. Now the guards on the right, as I just said, it's 1, 2, 3, go. And you don't want to ever move when they're here now. You don't ever want to move here or here you always want to move now. So we can move Cloud over and walk if need be, look. And take our time. And I can just run across now with Cloudlet if I want. Right? Same deal with Barrett. Run him across. Wait for it. When he runs across here, move Barrett twice. And the same deal goes for Tifa here. Wait for them. They run this way. I might as well move Tifa. 1, 2, 3, don't go. 1, 2, 3, go. And we're across. And that is fast guards. So just do yourself a favour. Just take it nice and easy. There's no rush. I just did slow guards. That will be the tricky minigame, and that is why I wanted you to save at the bottom of the Shinra building. The downside is that you don't do elevator, you do stairs. So stairs or elevator, either or, it's about the same pace anyway. The action of the elevator just feels like it's quicker. So once you close these 3 text boxes, we're going to run to the next floor. If you move pretty quick as soon as you enter this floor, the NPC will always be at the same position. It'll be about the bottom left here. I follow this track here, look, and talk to this guy. Second option here. I'm holding X and right and the mashing circle here. And I'm going to head to this screen right here. Now, for an optimal thing here, you can actually look up, and it might be different for Steam and PSX, but you can look up the password for this next floor. The minute you go to the floor, the password is set. So there's 2 ways we can do this. We can open the menu and look at the in-game time at the bottom right hand side, but the only thing we're looking at is the second. So for example, if we were to enter at 46, it would be option 1 of the password list of the mayor, and we can just mash through. And if it was like option, if it was the second 50, it would be option 1 too as well, or option 54, or option 58, and it goes up in 4s if you like. So like literally 42, 46, 50, 54, 58, they're all option 1. So those, for example, you can just go in and just mash through the mayor's password. If it's option like 48, it's option 5, which is the one where when you get to the password, you'll make sure you hit option 5. Some people rather have it written down as, okay, it's Mako. Rather than knowing what option it is, they have to look where Mako is, for example. But I don't like to do that. But like, let's say you don't want to do this this strategy for the password. What we can do here is just, well, actually we can test it. So let's just see. So let's go with the second number 50, which we know is option 1, which I think is best. But let's say that you're not 100% sure what you're doing here. So okay, so don't worry about the in-game time. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna run in here, and it's always the same area. So you go into this like library room here, the green bookcase. You're gonna go in on the left side of the green bookcase. You're gonna click, and you'll be given one of 4 words, and these words will be economics, results, breakdown, or new plans. Now, I already knew the password was best because I entered on second 50, but just to further confirm that, economic means the password is best. If the password here says results in it, it is king. If it says breakdown, it's bomb. And if it is new plans, it's Marco. And that is the only options it can be. It can't be any other option. So you've got 4 guesses basically, but don't ever guess. You must get this password correct. So I've just given you the easiest way here. And by doing the in-game time trick, it saves 5 seconds. So you can just run in, check the bookcase, and go and get your password if need be. So yeah, in this case it's option 50. And as for the in-game time, as for the access of or for the in-game time, I'm pretty sure you can either Google it or it's on speedrun.com somewhere. So from here, we're going to run in. Try not to bonk on this guy, by the way, he's annoying. Run in, and you want to mash. until you speak to him again, look. And then he says, got it. And then you want to choose your option. So for me, I already know what is best. We check the in-game time password. We check the bookshelf. Everything. So we got it. And the reason why you want this option, like you need to get this first try, is because he gives us the elemental materia. And this elemental materia is needed for later in the run. For Temple of the Ancients and for other areas of the game. I guess if you're just focusing on Midgar, it doesn't matter what password you get. It really doesn't. It really, really doesn't. If you're just focusing on Midgar. But it's a good habit to be in to get the password right. So you can always check the bookshelf. I've given you the answers right there. You'll always know what it is. And you can do that in a casual run. So when you're ready, from here, run to the elevator. Also, pay attention to the movement and the route I'm taking. I'm taking usually the faster path. So from here, choose floor 65. And this will take us to the next puzzle room. So this one is much easier. And we're going to run straight away into this room on the left here. So top room left side. And we're going to run directly in and grab this chest. So if there's anything that you must do in this room, it is ideal if you grab this chest and if you place this first puzzle piece into this position right here. So this one right here. So make sure you put it on the bottom right. So the reason why we do this is by doing this, it allows all the other treasure chests to be unlocked in any order you want now. So if you picked up a different chest and you popped it in a different position, I don't know which chest is going to be locked for you or not. And it's fine, but it would be considered slower. So from here, once you've put in that first chest to the first piece, personally, I do like, I go up left for the first piece, and then I go down left for the next piece, then I do up left for the next piece, down left for the next piece, and then I get the final piece, and then I leave the area. So up left, down left, look. And what we're doing here is we are actually still on A to B weight, so this could be a nasty runaway, but it's fine. So you can try and do change if you want. I sometimes press triangle. Sometimes it just helps buffer sometimes, it feels like anyway. But you can see that A to B weight is a harder runaway, you can see already. But that wasn't bad. Run in, grab any of these chests. And I like to do the left side here because I find the left side more annoying. Because it's got the area that can debate you. Remember, this isn't a real puzzle piece to put in, so don't be debated. And then from here, it's up left to the next room to get the Midgar piece. Upper left again. I do this personally. It doesn't matter the order you do, but as long as I said like the first piece and the first piece goes in where it needs to be. And then down left, I do this to grab this piece here. And then I do up right here now to do this piece. And again, like, please refer to my movement because this screen is step count is live, so movement needs to be good in the screen ideally. Well, I just did bad movement there, but emulator locked in input. It's okay though. Oops. Come on, keep going. Gonna get an encounter here. It's fine. It might be some fish. Oh, it's a robot. Okay. Again, we aim to just run. Oh, there we go. We ran now. In the instance, by the way, that with those sneaky guards, in the instance that you did get caught, you want, I was meant to bring this up actually, but in the instance that you're caught, you are put into an automatic pincer with 2 red guards. You can use Cloud's Limit or Barrett's Limit, and you can also use grenades. Don't worry, you've got plenty of grenades, so don't worry. And if you're caught 3 times, just use grenades, it's fine. I think after 4 times you're caught, the game pities you and just lets you through anyway. I just wanted to refer to that and let you know. Oops. From this chest, as an advanced tip, if you hold right, you'll bonk. So even if you like reach his treasure chest from quite far away and did right, you'll still bonk. So you kind of want to do right into down right a little bit, just as a small tidbit. Look, if you get really close to the chest and run right, Cloud will like almost slide past that staircase. But anyway, so run right. And then from this screen, step count's not live, but it's nice to do some nice movement. The easier and slick that you move, that's generally a good time save. So here it's second option. If you want to flush your bad RNG, you can do, but either way, do climb, then hold down on the screen to engage on this cutscene. And you can just mash here until Cloud says let's go. Once you say let's go, you want to hold X and up to, or I just want to hold up to leave the screen. I'll hold X as good habit, so let's follow him. I always hold X, it's just a good habit to just keep reminding myself that I need to be running. And I'll give you another small tidbit here. You can like upright to leave the screen. And from here, if you just hold X and right, Cloud will bonk. So what you want to do is, like, if you stood here, you want to do X and right, but a little bit of upright. So X right, upright, and out. And you want to make your way down here to this area here. And follow Hojo. On this screen, it'll be 3 text boxes, I think. And after those 3 text boxes, make your way around here. This floor step count is live, so our movement must be quite good here. At this point, right on this arrow here, this arrow right here, if you look at your health and you are below 200, I recommend you go to Cloud, you remove ice, you equip restore, and you heal the Cloud in magic, okay? You have also an elixir if you're desperate for something or whatever, or if you use a lot of MP in this case, but don't worry. But yeah, if you're low on MP, oh sorry, yeah, low on HP, heal. And if you for some reason you're remarkably low on MP, you can use the ether or the elixir to restore that person. Barrett's health isn't that much of a bigger deal since we're not going to be taking him. It's more these two you're worried about. But yeah, from here, you want to go back to, yeah, you're still on weight here. I was just checking. Yeah, good. So from here, enter the screen, and you mash until we see eyeball titties, which is coming up right here. After this, and Barrett looks and says, "Where's its fucking head?" That's your cue to be in control here. And you can kind of go straight into an up left to up here, like this. Go around. Again, it's good practice if you can pick up this potion. Sorry, not potion. If you can pick up this poison materia. Oh, that's nice on Barrett. That's nice on Barrett. That's actually perfect. And Barrett's limit will come in handy in a bit. So it's good practice to just pick up the poison materia. And again, I don't need to remind you, but there is a save point here. I definitely recommend taking it. And when you're ready, enter the elevator. If you've forgotten anything at this exact point where I'm stood right now, before you leave this elevator, or if you just want to double check that you are on the back row, you should be. You should be A to B weight. Okay. And from this point, you know, if you're not healed up, heal up now. You've got one last chance here. And then you've got a boss fight. So this boss fight, it requires 8 grenades on the boss, roughly. And you can also use Cloud's limit if it's available. And we're also going to get Red 13. And if Red 13 has a limit, you may use that on the boss as well. You ignore the boss's minions, little enemies, like you want to forget them. And in this game, remember, you won't be able to just hold circle and throw grenades because you'll need to be targeting the back row boss every time anyway. So cursor only saves your battle cursor and not where your battle finger is, where you're pointing, where your target is. It doesn't save the target. So what we aim to do is to, a little bit like the Mighty Grunts fight, we don't want to leak time. So we never ever want to be, like if, like, let's say I've queued up Barrett and Cloud with grenades. When Barrett's throwing that grenade, I don't want to put through that second grenade yet because I've got no one that can hold time. on that third character. So I need to be having someone that can just be in a menu. So whether that's the attack menu or item menu, just anything to hold time. Because otherwise I'll be just giving the boss turns and his little cronies. Now if you're really bad at ATB weight tricking, or you're really bad at throwing these grenades, they can do some serious damage to you, which is the reason why we save. And that's basically it. That's all we're gonna do. For a fast fight, we want this boss to do Shady Breath once on us, and we want that Shady Breath to land on all three of us. We don't want it to miss any of us, and this will just save us time. And that's something we want. And I believe Shady Breath will be either its first, second, or third turn. Usually it's its first turn from the main boss. His cronies, though, they mainly attack you, but they can cast magic, and that can do 60 to 70 damage. So again, that's why we don't want to give too many turns to, well, either the boss or his cronies anyway. So again, reminder, we're going to be throwing grenades on the back end of the boss, so the back row boss. So what we'll do is we'll go to grenade, we're going to tap left 3 times and then up, and then that should take us to the back boss. From here, your visual cue as you're mashing here is you mash until you see Cloud running out of the chamber, then you want to stop mashing. So wait for it. My first visual cue is just before this text box, it was Red 13 saying I'll talk as much as you want later, miss. Then this text box, this is your buffer, so don't worry if you go past this text box. Then it's this option comes up and you want to choose Barret to take care of her, and that's because we want Tifa in this fight. Again, it doesn't really matter for this speedrun, and doesn't really matter for any % no slots, but if you can help it, you want to take Tifa, and in my opinion, it's good practice to start doing. So Barret take care of her, 2 text boxes, and we name Red 13 R, or you can name him, if you didn't delete quick enough, you can leave him as Re. But you lower his name as much as you can, and it's going to be 1 text box and it's boss fight time. So I spoke through the fight already, so I'm going to try to do it and talk through it as we do it. So I'm going to look at my ATB bars immediately right now. Okay, so Tifa's going to get a turn. So immediately I go into item to grenade, item for Red 13 grenade, and Cloud grenade. So, and Shady Breath hit all 3 of us. So 1, 2 grenade, and you see how I was holding time here? Because I don't want to be, if I'd put that through a Cloud, I've got no one to hold time with. So you always want to be holding time with someone. So we've done 3 grenades. In 5 more grenades he's dead. I'm also going to use Cloud's limit. So this is grenade number 3. Look at me going to wait. Look, watch, wait for it. Grenade. And I'm holding time, look. So this is grenade number 4. Grenade number 5. I'm going to do a limit immediately now. So this would be grenade number 7, would it? I think it's 6 or 7 now. I'm losing count. So look, see, fire damage does 70. Sorry, fire attack does 70 damage on Cloud. So that's why you don't want to give too many turns. This isn't a bad thing. This has been quite a good fight, but it still gives you the idea of, you know, why I'm waiting right now. Look, and look, he's still getting hit even though I'm in wait. That's okay. He's either going to die now or the next attack. I didn't mean to put through an attack there with Cloud, by the way. That was a mistake. It was a double input, but it's fine. See how they're getting loads of turns now? So he's going to die now anyway, but as I said, in the case that Red gets a limit, you can use Red's limit, but he's dead. That was a perfect fight, minus that double input that I got with my controller to put through that Cloud attack. But anyway, whatever. We made it through the fight. We get EXP and we split. And from here, we mash only. We don't need to choose our party members. We're going to take Red 13, Cloud, and Tifa. And from here, we're going to run in here, pick up the enemy skill. This is good practice for a future. We're going to go to ATB active now. So we don't need to do any more weight tricking. So just keep that in mind. We're going to do back row at 13 so that he takes less damage. Don't worry about HP here. If you're very low and you're on 60 or 70, feel free to do a heal here if you want to play for safety. But you're fine, honestly. Then you want to make your way up here. And then we're going to make our way to the floor below this. Where you might get another encounter on the screen, by the way. Since step count is live. Now we're fine. So yeah. Also, I'm going to give you an advanced tip here. If you just hold X and down left, like from leaving the screen, Cloud will move automatically in his own. Watch. X down left, watch this. There we go. All the way until you get to the elevator. Nice. And then from here, just run up to the elevator, and then you guessed it, you mash. So let's fast forward here. And once you're awake and you're in your prison cell, you want to run into the door and choose the bottom option. So X and up, run into the door, bottom option. And I'm going to now be able to move Cloud, look. Right now, look. So I'm going to move Cloud just a little bit away from the door there. And like you see, this is like a bit of a white line here. This is a good visual cue. So I have Cloud about here. And then we're going to mash. And my visual cue is when Aerith starts to sit down. So she sits down, then she says 1, 2, 3 text boxes. Then we're going to hold, after we close that third one, we're going to hold run and up and then just mash. So 1, 2, 3 text boxes, hold X and up and mash. And that will take us to the next area of the next section of the game. Cloud has a text box here and you're going to hold X and upright and mash. And then as from here we move up to the dead body. Mash, 1 text box, back to Tifa. And then back up to Tifa again. Advanced tip here, don't run too close to the dead body here because Cloud will examine it and nothing will happen, look. He'll just keep looking at the red guard. So you don't want to do that. So you want to make sure you run over and run to Tifa. Okay. From here it's like 2 or 3 text boxes. 2 text boxes, yeah. Then you want to run up to Barrett so you can just run into his room here, look. Getting right into his face. And then we're going to run up to Barrett again. There's Barrett. Then he says this text box when he turns around. Then from here you want to talk to Tifa. And then you want to run to the president's office. The route we take is we go left here. There'll be an encounter, that's fine. Preemptive though, nice. It might not be a preemptive for you, but don't worry. Talk to Red, and by the way, you're at full health now. But don't worry if you take damage, no need to heal. From here, if you did not pick up the poison, again for good practice, in my speedruns I pick it up now. But if you didn't, pick it up now. And if you want to save, you can save here, but there's another save point coming up that you can take. From here, you can run X and down right straight away. And on top of the stairs there, right in front, you can grab them potions if you need to. I really don't think you will need them at all. But if it makes you feel good and you feel safe, grab them. There's also 2 potions there. Again, if you want to pick them up, you can do. But again, you do not need them. Run round, and when you come out of here, run up and left and round. Don't run down, right and round. I think it's slightly longer to go around. And then we're going to run to the president's office now. But before there is actually a save point that we can take. Which is going to be really nice. So again, I'll run to the save point, pretend we're going to save. I would definitely recommend taking the save point. Don't worry about healing. We do not need to heal at all. Doesn't matter which staircase you take, left or bottom, top or bottom, it doesn't really matter. Just hold X and right when you're at the top of the Shinra building to proceed with story as soon as you can. You want to mash here, nothing to note here, just mash. Once you see the helicopter and Palmer runs off, you want to hold X up and just tap R1 once. So X and up, tap R1 once, and that precedes the story. Again, nothing but mashing here. And you're going to be prompted with removing materia, which is going to happen like right now. you want to click remove. And from here, we're going to move down right through this door. If you haven't got your finger on, this is where it can come in handy sometimes. And we're going to start this boss fight. But before we do, I just want to talk through the strategy. So let's look here. So in this case, in this fight, as a good turn order, Aerith always wants to go second with doing grenades. So your typical strategy is to use grenades. I know in this rare case that Red and Barret both have limits, but let's pretend that Red didn't have a limit and Barret had a limit. So in that case, the turn order would be Aerith, Red, Barret. So basically the person out of Red or Barret who has the most limit break charged would go last. And that will play into this fight, and I'll explain why when we get to it, to phase 2. This will help the second boss, Heligunner, minimize a chance of sleeping a party member. If we get asleep, we get asleep, it's fine. And again, we will not be healing in the entire fight. In the instance that you're worried about health, you can do a healing win with the Aerith if it makes you feel safe, but I really don't think you'll need to do that. So in this case, I know that Red and Barret both have limits anyway, so it doesn't really matter who goes last. But my turn order will be either Red or Barret first, then Aerith second, then Red or Barret last. Let's see here. So let's go with Barret first, Aerith next, Red next. And all we're doing at this point is we're just holding circle. Okay? And what this will do is by the time that this boss dies, it will land on, I forget who's going first now, and who's going first in the turn order now, and who's going last, but I think Barret's going first. So in this instance, I think Red 13 will be able to do a limit immediately on the second phase boss, and I'll show you what I mean. So let's just throw grenades for now. So he's gonna die now in a minute. So Barret's gonna throw the grenade, then Aerith will, and then Barret will. Sorry, then Red will, and that will kill what? So this will kill now. And this is because Red 13 is going last in the turn order. So again, let's say he had the most limit charged, and he got the limit for phase 2. We can now use limit here. If none of them got a limit, you just throw grenades anyway. And if you get a limit phase 2, just use the limit anyway. But we can use Red 13's limit here. This boss will always get a first turn here. If in the instance that Red, for example, didn't have a limit, I would maybe hold before throwing this grenade to see if this attack lands on him, which in this instance did. Now in the unlucky case, and this is just RNG, nothing you can do about it, Red got slept. So that limit I had is not going to go through now. It is not worth using Aerith to wake up Red or anything, in my opinion. It just keep throwing the grenades, keep that damage going. It's just, honestly, it shit happens, don't worry. So what I can do though, is because Barret threw first, then Aerith, I'm going to use grenade, I'm going to use big shot here anyway. So, win-win anyway. And as soon as Red wakes up, he'll do that limit anyway. Just make sure you switch back to grenade with Barret though. Now, 2 sleeps, okay? There is absolutely nothing we can do. This is just RNG. This is just bad. There's nothing we can do. It kills time, but it's not your fault. It's not my fault. It's no one's fault. So we just continue to throw grenades. He's going to do firing line. I think he wakes up all 3 anyway now, which will obviously wake up Red anyway. But although firing line, this is just, you couldn't even make this up. Now Aerith is slept, but she's also poisoned. So again, that sucks. So again, if you got scared here, you can do a healing wind as soon as she wakes up if you want to, but you shouldn't need to. Also, when you see this boss starting to spin, like now, look where he's spinning now, this means that he's 2 grenades from dying. So in 2 more grenades, this boss is dead. Okay, he will more than likely do flying drill or something else. So 1, 2, and he's dead. So yeah, pretty rough fight, pretty nasty fight, but I'm glad that you guys saw a nasty fight and not a god fight, because then that's not what I want to show you. Good fight. Remember, split. On this screen here, I'm gonna do something here, but on this screen you just press start and confirm. Now, some speedrunners will do this fight on front row. I do as well, of course. But as a baby and safety strat, we're gonna use back row for Cloud. Now, in this instance, that Cloud has a limit. We're gonna use that limit on the. Actually, I'm not even sure if it's worth using on the dog. On the dog, maybe. Now, if the dog doesn't die and he's still alive, we throw a grenade on the dog, and then we throw grenades on Rufus. If Cloud doesn't have a limit, you want to throw a grenade on the dog, and if the dog doesn't die, you throw another grenade on the dog, and then you want to just throw grenades on Rufus, and then if you've got a limit, use it. So let's start that again. So the dog has exactly 140 HP. Rufus has 500. So the priority at the start of the fight, regardless of whatever strat you're doing, is the dog. So you want to start the fight with item, grenade, dog. Grenades can do 138 damage to 150 something. So ideally, on the dog, we don't do 139 grenade. So another thing you can try is you can try doing a limit break with Cloud. Now, because you've taken the stairs, you're still at a risk that Cloud might do 138 and 139 damage grenade bravery anyway. But if you have a braver for the start of the fight and you kill the dog and the dog's not had a turn, you've actually saved some animation, because the dog will start the fight casting barrier. It always does. So the dog will do barrier and Rufus will either laugh, do nothing, or shotgun you. So let's go. That's basically all we need to know. Worst case, if you don't want to do any limits, just throw grenades. You've got plenty of grenades. You've got too many grenades, to be honest. So start the fight. Let's go. If I can get this limit off on the dog before he has a turn, great. I can't. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to limit break doing his animation of barrier here anyway. Let's see if this braver will underroll. It can do, and if it does, it's fine. So it did. So this dog actually has exactly 140 HP. 136 if you've taken the stairs, that's low, so the dog will not die. But you could have thrown the grenade and it could have underrolled anyway. But that's fine. So what we do now, and we're going to throw a grenade on the dog now. So this Rufus damage would normally be doing 50 damage, but at least 25 damage isn't using as much. The other thing that the dog can do after this is the dog can actually cast a bolt on you. Bolt will do 90 damage. So it can be a bit scary, but the dog should die. You could attack the dog if you want to be a little bit speedy and save a couple of seconds maybe, but Cloud can miss that dog because the dog has quite high evasion. So anyway, grenade goes off, and now from this point, even if he crits you, you've won this fight. So all you need to do now is grenades. He needs 4 grenades and he's dead. So he would have to crit me 3 or 4 times in a row now to kill me. So again, a good practice is to do 3 grenades and then do a limit again. That would be good practice, right? To get an extra braver in, because we need bravers in an original game. But if you just want to play it safe, just use grenades. So here's grenade. And grenades don't miss. There's 1. There's 2. He needs 4 grenades to kill him. Let's do 1 more. Grenade number 3. Could limit here. Let's do it. Let's do bravery. Why not? And boom. He's dead. And that's Rufus. And you see, even with the crit and with me underrolling on the dog, I still lived for HP. And I had plenty of HP. He could have done another 6 shotguns on me and I would have lived. So, anyway, we get the EXP, claim the guard source, and all the items. Then we're going to do a menu. Sorry, my controller just thought of something. It just literally went, my computer just went, well, no, actually, your controller's an audio device. So from here, we're going to do a menu here. and this menu is going to be Cloud, Mithril Armlet, and it will also be Materia. So Armlet, Mithril Armlet, press square here for a shortcut. I'm going to do Restore, Poison, Lightning, Ice. Okay, don't need to heal. If for whatever reason, I don't know why you wouldn't be, but if you're not on back row by this point, you can do that. And go, right? So from here we go. But I'm actually going to give you a baby route again for the next boss. The next boss can kill you, but what I'm about to do, hopefully it minimizes that. So run down the stairs. I would definitely save at that save point, by the way, because this will be your practice for Motorball. And for movement here, you can hold X and left and then add L1 and hold it. And this will start the FMV for motorcycle chase. Also, after this text box, this is another 1 minute break. So drink some water, hydrate. Okay, so from this point, this is the baby strat, okay? I'm going to make sure that, again, I want to get you through Midgar just as best as we can. So in a regular speedrun, I would not recommend doing a menu here because it just lags a little bit and is a bit slower. But what we're going to do here is we're going to put you on the front row, because what this boss does is this first starting move pushes you to the next row. So if we start on the back row here, he'll actually push us to the front row. So by putting us on the front row, he pushes us on the back row. And obviously on the back row, we take less damage. So this is an added little bit of safety. If you want to start maximizing a little bit of your run by saving like literally one menu, then just leave yourself on the back row for the whole party and don't do this menu here. Now let's talk about the fight. So this fight coming up, we've got Motorball. What we're going to do in this exact turn order is we're going to have Cloud cast Bolt, and we're going to have Barrett and Tifa throw a grenade each. So turn order will be, it'll be Cloud, Barrett, Barrett. So Cloud, Bolt, yeah. Barrett, grenade, Tifa, grenade. Then we're going to do that 5 times. Once the 5th bolt goes through, don't put any more grenades through. Okay, and the boss is going to do an animation, and it's going to kind of stand up. The minute it's like starts to move, it starts to like transform like a transformer. You'll want to do grenade with Barrett, with Tifa or Barrett, bolt with Cloud, and grenade with Tifa or Barrett, whoever, doesn't really matter. And sorry, I just thought of something really cool. And from that, the boss should be dead. Now, I say it should be dead. There can be a couple of things that can play into this. I haven't written any notes, and I believe RJ has some good notes. Whether they stay up on speedrun.com, I don't know. But RJ's notes say that if Cloud starts rolling for over 224 damage for consistently with bolts, what you will do is, rather than doing 5 bolts, you'll do 4 bolts, and then and instead of doing that 5th bolt, you'll do 1 ice magic. Because if you do too much damage, you might even die, right? So I recommend that you look at the rolls that Cloud is doing. If Cloud's rolling for 218 and 220, which is fine, by doing, after the animation of the boss, after the 5th bolt, by doing grenade, bolt, grenade, that bolt from Cloud might actually kill. And that grenade won't even be needed, so you'll save it. It'll be a faster fight. As for limits, I know that Barrett has a limit, so what we can do here is, again, at the end phase, after the 5th bolt, we do grenade, bolt, grenade. We could do limit after that, and then Big Shot after that, and then even if we needed to, we do Braver after that, so we will not die in this fight. So if you start to get scared at the end, after the 5th bolt, you can start throwing in some limits, and you'll win that fight. So I hope I went through that okay, but because we're on the front row, we've been pushed to the back row anyway, so we should take a lot less damage anyway. Now that's the boss fight. Now the one last thing, there's 2 last things I need to mention before the end of this like series video, and that is, from here, we're going to be doing the mini bike game. If you're on Steam, you'll have to mash square or circle to do what we're about to do, and if you're on PSX or emulator, you can hold square or circle. But what we do is we aim for holding square or circle but staying in the middle of the road. And what we ideally want is we want 3 red bikes. If you have yellow or blue bikes on PC, you want to kill them off the bike. So there's one. There's another. And don't drive up here, like don't be next to the car. Stay in the middle of the road. And don't panic if you start missing. If you're not very good at this minigame, that's fine. I don't plan to be very good at it either. I don't believe I am either. Just take it nice and easy. We've not had 1 red bike yet, look. Wow, this is bad RNG. There's a red bike. Now, by staying in the middle of the road and by pressing square or circle, holding or mashing, he will not approach me. Let's see. See how he's not moving? So he's just staying there, look. He's not actually causing me any issues. So ideally we want 3 red bikes and we can just chill. And again, I'm doing baby route, remember. There's another red bike, look. And there's the 3rd red bike, look. Do you see how they're not moving? I'm just in the middle of the road. I'm pressing square or circle, just holding. And we're nice and chill. And as you can see, they're not doing anything. And they won't do anything now. I can fast forward. But let's recap on the boss while we've got 1 minute here. Not even 1 minute now. By the way, this strategy does not save any time. This whole fight, like this whole minigame, is scripted anyway. So it's the same amount of time. Just, it means we take less damage. So let's go over the boss fight again. So we're going to start this fight with Cloud doing Bolt, Grenade with Barrett, Grenade on Tifa. If Tifa's grenading second and then Barrett's grenading first, it doesn't matter. Sorry, third. It doesn't matter. But just do Cloud first, Cloud, and then grenade, basically. And we're going to count the bolts, but we're also going to be paying attention to bolt damage. I will do commentary through it, but this fight is scripted. We will not need to heal, even if it looks monka, looks a bit scary. We will not need to heal at all. You can trust me. I'm here to get you through Midgar. So, if you took the save point after Rufus, you can practice this fight and the minigame. So let's have a good fight here. So let's go. So let's talk. I will talk through some other points, but I've gotten the strategy down. Don't worry about running here to try and like prevent the back attack damage. It doesn't work. So I'll take the damage. So normally, if you were on the back row at the start of this fight, you would take 40 damage here. But because we're on the front row, which is then pushes to the back row, we only took 20 damage. So again, we're doing the baby strat. This is just to get you through Midgar. So again, we're going to do Cloud Bolt, Tifa Grenade, sorry, Barrett Grenade and Tifa Grenade. Okay. Now this fight is scripted, so I know exactly what turns he will do and even how much damage he'll do. After this, after driving into me here, he will do an arm attack. This arm attack will usually hit the person with the most HP, so he will hit 100%, he will hit Barrett, and then he will probably hit Tifa, because they have the most HP. Tifa has more than HP than Cloud even. So, from this, when he does one arm attack, that's one turn, he can do that once or twice. And if he does a double, it's shit. It's time lost, but it's fine. If he does a single, that's the minimal time save, right? So let's see here. And then he'll do arm attack again, and he can do single or double. And in those arm attacks, he can crit. So that can be really scary, especially if you are on the front row for this fight. But we're on the safe back row for now. So let's go. So Cloud, Bolt, Barrett, Grenade, Tifa, Grenade. Don't be too slow in the menu here. You are on active. And also remember, the Cloud's the only one that's got item magic and attack. Barrett and Tifa only have item and attack. So if you know they're going to start on attack, just go straight to item and grenades will always be at the top if you've done the correct shops like I've been doing. So go straight to items, grenade. Yeah. So here we go. So we're looking at the cloud damage range. So remember the golden rule is 224. So in my eyes, that's a little high, but we might be okay if Cloud starts rolling a bit weaker later on. But let's see. We've got until the 5th bolt to do an ice. So here's that arm attack that he did on Barrett, by the way, and now he's doing it on Tifa. He did a single on both of them, so no doubles. That was really good. So 224, he's just hitting the range that we don't want. And I'm just holding circle now. So this is the 3rd bolt that's queued. Now the boss will do twin burner. This will do 80 to 87 damage, around that for us all. Again, we're more than safe on HP. We're all above 200, so we're fine. Now, this is the 3rd bolt. Again, 226. It's just cutting close here. So I think I'm going to do an ice just to play it safe here, because it's really tight. So this is the 4th bolt and 224. So I'm now going to do ice on this turn. So you would only do ice if you're hitting consistently over 224 or more, or even 224. So if I didn't do ice and I continued doing bolt, I could have possibly game overed. But I don't even think I would die then, because again I'm on the back row for this fight. But if you were on the front row, you'd probably be dead, run dead. So if you're doing 218 and 216 and 210 or even 28, it's fine. You're fine. But just pay attention and count those bolts. So once the 5th bolt is now going in, or the 5th, now this is ice technically now. So this ice is going to go in now. So what we're going to do here is we're going to get ready. Now watch this boss. This boss is going to do an animation. So when he starts doing this, he starts to stand up. I'm now going to go grenade, bolt, grenade. This boss is dead, guys. He's toast. So grenade, bolt, grenade. Now, if he does not die from this grenade and I get scared right now, as Tifa's leant forward now, I can do grenade. Sorry, I can do limit break. Look, with Barrett. But look, he's dead. So easy fight. I don't need to show this fight again. You can like look at this and rewind it, sorry, and rewatch it. Then you're going to split for motorball, grab this, and then we're going to do one more thing before leaving Midgar. I'm not the best to kind of describe the next thing that we're going to do, but I'll do my best. So again, that is Midgar in a nutshell. There is one tiny thing we're going to do, one more nice skip we can learn just before leaving Midgar, just to give you that taste for Midgar and that you've done absolutely everything that a speedrunner would do. There's not one thing that I don't think you wouldn't have done as a speedrunner. You've done Jesse skip, bar skip, you've done guard skip, you know, you've done boss strategies. The 10 grenade strat that I just did there is a nice and safe strat. You did really well there. So Barrett skip. So what we're going to do is I'll show you it first. So here, if I try to leave Midgar, it won't let me look, right? So, and you can keep trying by as long as you keep pressing let's stay here for a while. If you click let's go, you'll just progress and you'll have finished your run. But I want to save you some extra seconds here. So to do Barrett skip, it's ideal to start from when Cloud's falling down this rope. And what you want to do is I immediately hold left until about here with bonking on Tifa. Then from here I do down left and I talk to Barrett at the same time as trying to leave the screen. And as you can see, this text box is now larger than it needs to be. That's because I've done this glitch. And I can put let's go. And then now I can close this text box. Just press whatever here, doesn't matter. They say stop it Cloud, we're worried too. Barrett will start doing this, but you're in control. And you can leave. You can just leave. And that's Midgar done, right? So again, I'm holding X and left. Bonk bonk. Down and talk. And you want to kind of get that timing with Barrett down to a T. It's not easy. But let's just say, you know, you don't get this correctly. Maybe let's say you talk to him too early like this. Right? Like this. And you're like, oh shit. just put, I don't know, right? And just try to get into like a position again, or try to get like quite low down. And then now from here, do X down left and talk. If it works, great, but don't worry. Get him a little bit closer, then do X down left and then press circle. Doesn't work. You can keep trying though, that's the beautiful thing. And if this comes up, just put, yeah, whatever. See how we just see if we can just try for days, look. And if we get it, we'll get it. Just need to get that right area. There we go. If you get this text box, close this text box, press down here, you have got the options to listen. That's let's go. That's top option. If you put top option, which is what we're on now, we can try again. But if you want to go, you press the bottom option, which is let's go. Then you just choose whatever option here, and Barrett will start moving here now. And you're free to move, and you can move and leave. So you can practice that, and that's Barrett skip. So one more time. So I think it's easier when you start from here. And if this happens like this, it was quite unfortunate. We can try again. We got the text box, and we leave, look. Nice. Nice, simple, and easy. One more time. Hopefully I'll try and get it properly this time. And you just kind of get a feel for the text box. So again, I'll just keep doing it and show you. You can also watch my controls if need be. Again, let's go. That was a large text box. Don't know. Whatever, we can do whatever here. And we can run out. You can even actually, something that's nice to do if you did want to continue your run, is once you get this skip here, you close this text box here. You can actually still menu and heal if you wanted to, and then leave. I'm just saying, like, that's something else you can do. That's sometimes what runners do. But that's it. That's Midgar in a nutshell. I've done it all in one sitting. I hope I did stumble over some words, and you know, I've said Tifa instead of Aerith and Aerith instead of Tifa and all that good stuff. So, you know, I'm aware that I could have probably described I could have described it a bit better, and if I was not running on 3 hours sleep, I would have probably been able to give you a better route. But that's left you leaving Midgar at a good time. My timer's going to say like 2.5 hours because I've done fast forwarding and stuff. So I want to just give you a disclaimer here. If you followed my exact route down to the T, but you want to continue this run and do calm skip, you will need over 2,000 gil. So you have 1,800 here. So, for example, that Phoenix down we had earlier, you could maybe sell that. And rather than getting, I can't remember how many grenades we bought in the shop now, to Aerith's house, I think we bought 54. You could maybe buy 50, 53. Or even you could probably buy 50, right? And it would be fine. Because look how many grenades I've got left, right? So you have more than enough grenades for error. And let's say you got caught on 4 times on the sneaky guards. And those need 2 grenades each, right? So 2, 4, so 4, 8, 12. That's 16 grenades to get you through those sneaky guards. I think 4 times is the max anyway. So that would still leave you with 6, 7, 8 here-ish grenades left. So you've got plenty. So if you did want to continue your run, just don't buy 54 grenades and just buy 50. And you're good to go. And you can do calm skip now. If you really enjoyed my commentary, my style of how I described things, I am by no means some FF7 pro. Like, I really, really am not. I'm just honestly some guy who loves Final Fantasy. I live and breathe it. I can't wait for the rebirth and remake. I adore the game. Not just as a speedrunner either, or a speed run. I really do honestly enjoy this game. If you did enjoy it, please leave a like on this video. Even if you're watching it through something else. take a minute and go to my channel, just give it a like, okay? You don't even have to subscribe. If you really liked it, maybe give it a subscribe. Maybe I'll do some more content in the future. Maybe you'd want me to continue this beginner route. Maybe we can make a route together. And if you also want to continue to watch my speedruns live, you can follow me on twitch.tv. But please leave me some feedback if it's helpful for you. I don't know if I did this well or not. I kind of just came up with this route anyway. And again, all of this whole run today was not on step count. So, you know, thank you so much for spending the time with watching this video. I'm aware it's very long, and I know I'm drawing out the ending a little bit here, but I just want to like take a minute and say that I really want to encourage people to give this game a go to speedrun if speedrunning it is something you've been eyeing up for a while. If you're worried that it's your favorite game and you won't be able to play it casually anymore because, you know, it's your favorite game, then I understand. But to me, the way I look at it is it gives you more replayability, because it means I can play the game over and over now and beat my time, and it allows me to constantly play FF7 if I want to. And, you know, there's some very, very good streamers out there for FF7 speedruns. There's some really, really good runners out there, really top quality content creators. So I definitely recommend to get your ass onto Twitch and have a look around and meet those other runners. They're really some good runners. And you will learn probably even more from them than you will from me. This is just, I'm giving you the gateway to starting Final Fantasy VII speedruns. This entire video is just FF7 beginner, Midgar beginner percent, or beginner Midgar, I don't know what to say yet, but beginner Midgar percent. It's just to get you through Midgar and give you a taste of a speedrun. You may be thinking, if you were on NTSC or if you're on emulator, what would be a relatively good time to leave Midgar? Anything around 140, I would say, is a pretty decent time for a good run, right? For a good run. Yes, other top runners will get 135, 131, but I'm just saying in general, I think aiming for a good 140 is a nice time. If you're starting to get faster than that, brilliant. I'm really proud of you. Remember, you are off steps as well, but if you're at the point of wanting to learn steps, again, by popping into streamers and watching how they move and stuff like that, and hopefully you've learned a bit of movement from my inputs. I hope that's really helped. I hope I've spoken through the skips well. You've done Jesse skip, you've done guard skip, you've done Barrett skip, you know, you've done bar skip as well. So you've done a lot of skips, you've done a lot of menus, and you're now set for leaving Midgar in, well, this video is saying 2 hours and 44 minutes, but yet the timer here says 2:51. So we're probably leaving here in Midgar at 2:40, but I've stopped and explained things, so it probably could have been a bit quicker. But yeah, overall, I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, by all means, you can ask in the comments below. I will do my best to answer. Or ideally, even better yet, you can come to my streams and ask me in person. I typically stream 2, 3, 4 times a week. I'd say at least 3 to 4. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope to see you guys over on the twitch.tv. I really do look forward to seeing that. And until then, guys, happy speedrunning. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. So until then, take care.